Well,
Hey!
what happened last time on Ebon Ward?
Last time on Ebon Ward, we started with Nash and Scream Eater out just kind of walking around, and Nash has had a lot of pondering to do, but I think he's in a better spot just because, you know, he's a tough guy, and also Scream Eater was kind of comforting him and just being like, "You're great. You know that, right? You should be told that more often. Hugs." And they had a nice time outside. Then y'all spent the night and showed Astrofel Blackthorn, the embodiment of evolution and a demigod, what pizza is, and he thought it was good but had many weaknesses. You then brought him back to Meredith Redwood's main laboratory and showed him the last memory of her, which was her leaving to go to Parthena's home, which you now know is the Elysiote Mansion. And we all know how that panned out. As you guys made your way out of the Wandering Woods, you made sure to reintroduce the master of the home to the Weaver. And they had a lovely little interaction and made it clear that once Astrofel had returned, they would likely be working together in the future, similar to the original arrangement of the Weaver and Astrofel Blackthorn. When you returned to Leviara with him, it had been clear that about 12 days had passed while you were in the Wandering Woods. The Weaver was able to mitigate some of the time shenaniganry, but not everything. When you arrived, it had become clear that the Keepers are on their way. They're not here yet, but they're making their way. So you have a little bit of time to prepare. If you want to fuck around, you can. I don't care. It's your life. You do what you want. And it's been agreed upon that you can't immediately go on the defensive. Like, you can't just start swinging. It might be the best course of action to have maybe not all of them, but some come in to discuss things and then progress from there. After that, you guys went back to the Siren Song Hotel and discussed the possibility of what to do with Andrin, and the options are not stellar. Your options are A, Astrofel makes a whole new body for Andrin, and then you either A, transfer the soul somehow, or B, make a copy of her memories using the spores and then delete the original. You have all agreed that's kind of fucked up, so are solidifying what the next best course of action would be. And that is where we left off. I'll drag over here. So, it is still the same day. You are able to do whatever you like. I know that, like, Dia had gone upstairs to do some studying with Fez to discuss the whole Crocowolf dealio. Maze and Rosa are out and about on the town, so I should actually get their icons, show them.
I hit the bottom in the top right of my screen that says skip to next event. No.
No, that's fair. But yeah, and then Redpath was actually going on a walk with Garen just to be like, "Hey man, you doing okay?" And he's like, "No, I'm not." Thinking about it more, I'm kind of awful. He's not with Jacques right now.
Go talk to my dad about it. Why don't I just talk to you?
No. But yeah, if there's any place we wanted to specifically start, there are multiple options, whether it be preparing, solidifying details with higher ups such as Amaranth Hairsith, or maybe even checking in on what has happened with different people such as Victoria. Because she is a grieving widow right now. As I forgot to mention, Conrad exploded.
Yeah, that was very important. I did plan on swinging by and chatting with Victoria.
Okay. Yeah, did you want to, where would you like to try and meet her? Because she'll likely be at home or at the Art of It All.
We can swing by her house. A private spot sounds fine.
She's just at work, like, pretending to have a horrible day, but, like, when the doors close, she's just like, "This is so tiring." Someone walks in.
The doors close, and she's just like, "Oh, unbelievable. I have to keep telling people he blew up."
Do you bring Rosa with you?
Yeah, I'll bring Rosa with me. I think I'll do Rosa the service of allowing her the opportunity to see the thing she was told not being true. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So
it's an opportunity she's not often given.
Oh, actually, you know, Rosa's still in her armor. Actually, she's. Delete and bring it back. I will ping. Yeah. So Rosa is walking with you, and it's like, are you prepared for this? This might be like she's been a wreck.
I'm prepared for it. Yeah. I think I'll be able to manage.
All right. Well, I'm with you.
That's good.
Yeah. So you just knock on the door, I presume.
Yeah.
You remember this house is pretty large, and you actually hear the sliding of a door above you, and like Rosa takes a step back to like look up as you remember that there's actually a balcony that hangs off of the front of this house, and you see a familiar blonde woman. I'm gonna shift ping you real quick.
Of course.
Looking over the edge. Oh, what is it? Can't you all just leave it? Maze! She goes sprinting back into the house. I will ping. Rosa slowly turns. Are you like good friends with her? What's that all about?
Oh, yeah, I can get into that.
Throws the door, but Maze. Oh, and another person. I'm a mess right now. I'm so sorry. Rosa leans over. I told you.
Yeah, I can see that. Do you mind if we step in?
Cats detect thoughts, woman. Come on.
She's undead, and she'll just immediately go vampire. She'll go, oh.
Do you mind if we step in? I have something I want to discuss with you.
Oh, of course, and I'm sure you've heard the news. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Miss Rivaldi. I informed him. I thought it was important. Oh, thank you so very much, Rosa. Well, would you like to come in and have some tea or something?
Yeah, sure. That sounds nice.
Rosa speaks up. So, Madame Rivaldi, you seem to know Maze fairly well. Oh, he's a student of mine. Excellent at the crafts. A marvelous paint. You should see him paint men. Outstanding work. And Rosa kind of like cocks an eyebrows, like, all right, well, that's fine. Whatever.
May is just like pinching the bridge of his nose, like, come on, man.
So, like, why specifically men? Just curious. Like, I don't really care either way.
I don't know. I guess it's just easier for me.
Oh, that makes sense, I suppose. Victoria gestures to the couch. Please, have a seat. And she also kind of plops down and scooches into the other side. Rosa is like, I don't know where I should go.
You must decide for yourself, Rosa.
Sure. And she'll scoot in next to you. And, Victoria, you see her, like, kind of almost using it as a fainting couch. She throws her arm over her face. Oh, it's been such a hard, it's been a couple of days. It's, time is just a blur to me at this point.
I'm so sure that it is. I don't wanna take too much of your time here. I just wanted to express my distaste that your husband is such a renowned jackass that's the plan that he went with.
She looks up. I talked to him about this. I tried. I really did, Maze. I really, really did. I should make it Can she hear this?
Yeah, she can hear this.
I'm not deaf? What the hell is happening?
Conrad is a goon of a man and felt it appropriate to fake his own death by blowing himself up with a pile of dynamite.
Wait, sorry, time out. This is gonna sound really stupid. He's not dead?
No, I'm sure he's quite alive and tucked away somewhere.
He's very much alive. He's getting everything situated for our next living space, yada yada. Those are details I won't go into right now, but you see Victoria just like lean on her knees with her elbows and just cup her face. I really tried. I tried everything. I even told him like freak carriage accident, something.
No, just something that any reasonable person would believe instead of a pile of dynamite while he was dynamite fishing.
Rosa coughs.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend, but you really should approach this with a bit more skepticism. Did everyone just buy it that easily?
I don't know what to tell you, Maze. He said he was dynamite fishing. What do you want from me? And we have witness accounts. Garen, also, why did no one tell me Garen was in town? That was a fun surprise. You just bump into him and he's like, by the way, Conrad exploded.
We did.
Oh, yeah. No, you did. But she didn't actually bump into him in person until then.
Yeah.
That's a crazy first bump into in person sort of thing to have as a conversation.
I understand. It must have been hectic and it clouded your better judgment on that one. No, he's fine. And you did a great job peddling the story.
Victoria looks over. Yes, actually, thank you very much for that. But yeah, Victoria gets very casual, like crosses her legs and just throws an arm around the couch. I don't know. It's like I'm getting tired of fake crying because it's so hard to not crack a smile with I can't believe he blew up. He died doing what he loved, exploding fish, which he's done exactly the one time.
It's positively ridiculous. Literally just a boating accident would have been more easy to swallow than that.
That's what I was telling, like, legitimately, like, I don't know, we could have probably talked to the Academy to have a giant fish illusion eat him, or something.
Anything.
I don't know, but in any case, yes, so I'm glad you've been informed of the whole hubbaloo, however it's pronounced, whatever, the mess that it is.
Hullabaloo.
Also, I'm so happy that you're back, and she reaches over and, like, grabs your hand.
I'm glad to be back.
Did everything go all right?
It went about as good as it could have. Admittedly, there were some hiccups there, but, there was a house that was a man made of meat.
Oh.
He's better now, but it was strange.
So, wait, did you actually meet Mr. Blackthorn?
We did. You could meet him too if you want. He's around.
Oh, I don't know if that's wait, he's here?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that, Maze. Rosa cocks an eyebrow. Hi, still here. That's a very strange reaction for what, to my understanding, is an immortal who has been gone for 400 years.
Alright, well, part 2 of things you get to find out in this conversation. Vampire. The both of them, actually.
Oh, wow, we just dove right into that, didn't we? Victoria, like, covers her mouth. Rosa flips between the two of you. Oh my god. So in the crowd when that was you two? Yes, I guess so. So to clarify on a grand conspiracy, a big reason why Conrad had to leave is if Leviara found out that not only I, but he specifically was a vampire and was your lawmaster for 10 years, that might be really problematic, especially considering the whole keeper situation that had just happened. So
he tried to cover things with an exit strategy of dynamite.
Okay, it's all coming together. It's like still stupid, but it's coming together. Wow. Okay. First and foremost, she looks to Maze. Don't think for a moment I'm mad you didn't tell me. Like, that's reasonable. Thank you for telling me now.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of the reason why we were trying to keep it on the down low and out of your ears in particular is just because of the invisible gymnast and their mind-probing abilities.
No, that was smart. That was absolutely the correct decision. Especially considering now that we know who that was. Yes. Okay. Wow. Well, I guess mission accomplished? I mean, any rumors that, if there have been any floating around that you two are vampires, I imagine the insanity behind his death will cover that quite well. Though maybe the more mad of individuals might be like, well, it's crazy enough that maybe he was also a vampire. So.
Yeah, but that just sounds like some conspiracy drivel. Which does lend it a little bit of credence. It's still really dumb. Really dumb.
Do you need me to spin this more? It used to be my job.
Things seem to be under control for the moment, though I don't want to speak on my mother's behalf.
Rose's eyes widen and look back
Alright,
over.
third thing.
Hi. Oh, wow. We're just rapid fire with these, aren't we? Yes, I'm his mother. And to be fair, I only learned that a couple weeks ago. So, woohoo, welcome to the club. It just kind of deflates a little bit. Rosa looks between the two. So cold. Yes. Okay. It's I don't want to come off as rude. Is there anything else you wanted to let me know?
No, those were the three main points.
No sub points?
I suppose I can tack on the sub point of seemed only fair. I met one of your parents. You can meet mine.
Yeah. But, at least your parent is kind. Oh, thank you. Just puts a hand on her chest and smiles. Right. Then Rosa turns. Well, wait, you've been out in the sun dozens of times just in the time that I've been here. That's a whole other can of worms, dear. We don't need to dabble into that. It's genuinely not. Don't worry about it. But is there anything that I can do for you, Maze?
Well, I was actually, while I was wandering around the woods, I was thinking of something that I could talk with Conrad about, but given my surprise at hearing he'd blown himself up, I imagine he's pretty deep incognito at the moment.
He's already off in another city, kind of establishing a new identity and whatnot for us. Rose's eyes widen of like, okay, wow, this is some deep shit to just casually talk about.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing.
Wow. But is it something that and if it's not, that's fine, but is it something that I can help with?
It was just a point of curiosity. He had done his spooky shadow tricks, and I was wondering if that was something unique to him, or if it was just a vampire ability of his.
Well, I can elaborate on that a little bit. I've been around the block long enough. She just smiles. Depending on, how you become a vampire, because there are multiple ways to go about it, it can impact your capabilities. The other thing that plays into it is who turns you into a vampire, your personality. There's so much that goes behind it. Conrad is actually a true undead vampire. I'm just more normal, I suppose.
I'm normal pilled.
More normal. The best way I can describe it. Because Conrad has had to take on so many identities, it's sort of manifested into the shadows of those that he has. Looks at Rosa. replaced. Rose's eyes widen again. They were all horrible people. Raphael was all right. Well, on the fence. In any case, so these personalities need to be, ousted from him, and so they become these shadows that he is able to manipulate and, if so desires, switch between them. Although if he does that, he adopts the identity that he had before, which is why when you encountered him here as Conrad, he was very calm and stern and devilishly handsome. Strictly because if he emoted too much, it might lean into one of those personalities and, well, we now have Sullivan the Bronco, and that's not great, because he was a bar brawler / cage fighter. Oh, that was a fun time. In any case, she claps her hands together.
Yeah, Mace just raises his eyebrows a lot more to that guy than met the eye, it seems.
Yeah. Listen, he had a whole boss fight mechanic.
It sounds like it. Well, it sounds like a pretty specific trick then. Not something that doesn't sound like something that I could do or would have the, I don't even know what to describe about Conrad that would lead to that particular quirk, but I don't have it.
Someday you'll be able to call upon the shade of Reaver Boy.
Well, to be fair, you likely wouldn't have anything from him, just because, well, he's not your father.
Well, of course not, but we've got to, oh yeah, what's up?
I mean, I can do things, she puts her hands on her hips. I can, if I so desire, I can hang from the ceiling, not in this dress. But I have options and capabilities, though, because I haven't really needed to fight or anything beyond deceiving others. I haven't really had to try and build upon my skill set. If you so desired, I could try to teach you a few things, but I don't know how well they translate, to be quite frank. That's not doubting your capabilities, I assure you.
No, I don't really know how well it would translate either. Frankly, I was only asking about Conrad because of a combination shot in the dark and a weird shadow lantern that might have been able to play into it somehow.
She tilts her head. A shadow lantern.
Oh, yeah.
Have her... Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, Mace's just gonna expand on it a little bit. Yeah, it was an artifact we got from a Veritas goon.
I'm gonna have her roll... I guess for her it will be history, actually. So, actually, yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Oh.
She thinks about that. Shadow lantern. By chance would that be of, a Des Veritas design?
I mean, I haven't looked at the thing since we got it ages ago, and we hadn't heard about Des, but it probably falls into his wheelhouse now that I think about it.
Do you happen to have it?
I don't think it's unreasonable to say that I asked for it from Dia, since it's sort of the crux of the conversation piece here.
I don't see why not. I'm not going to have you leave to go get it and come back.
Yeah, no, here, take a look.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, this is old. And she very delicately sets it down and examines it.
Once belonged to the lamest vampire I've ever known.
We met him!
God. I'm going to have her... I'm going to do a GM roll. Thank you for not registering that roll 20. That was really cool of you. Let's go. She looks it over a fair amount. I do remember Des walking around with something like this near the end of his career. Well, more importantly, near the end of our interaction. As you imagine, when things started to get dicey, Conrad and I, well, we decided it was time to skedaddle. Yes, this was... I don't think this was his main one. I think this was one of his earlier designs. She spins it around. It is damaged, because I do recall, like, way back in the day, it had been, like...
Yeah, it got, like, shunted into a wall or something.
Yeah, and it was already old, so, and she looks it over. If I'm not mistaken, its initial design was to capture souls, and... I guess the best way to describe it is... alter? Make them more conform to whoever's holding the lantern. I remember Des was very interested in all the souls and the divination, and it was a little too above my pay grade, to be quite frank. But I wouldn't be surprised if this played a part in those studies. I know for a fact that any time there were individuals who might come after him, after he beat them, he'd never kill them. He would use this, and she pushes it back.
Maze picks it up, having raised his eyebrow on capture souls and not put it down. Wait. This thing was used to capture souls, like harvest them and put them here in a spot, a different location, like here? Tap, tap.
She nods. More or less, though, to my understanding, it can twist them. I'm so sorry, I don't know the full details, because it's a complicated thing. But sure. Maze, can you give me... I'll let you roll history if you want, and if you don't have that, I'll let you just do a raw intelligence.
Let's see. I'll check. Do I have history? No, rogues don't get that.
That's weird.
It is weird, but intelligence it is.
Cross-class skills are the spice of life.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Stoopy.
It's not
Never
ringing
heard
a...
of it.
I'll leave it at this, because I don't want to completely fuck you over. You feel like you've seen this thing in action besides hiking.
Yeah, that...
Was it,
Yeah.
Isn't it the lanterns in Sweetstone that they were using?
No.
I don't think they're the same. They
No.
might work on a vaguely similar.
That thought tickles the back of
specifically.
that thought tickles the back of Maze's brain for a second, but he's still sort of caught on the big picture here of like, oh, hold on, no, managing souls is something that's a pretty big concern for my friends right now. You're telling me we just have something that's like a good jumping off point for that?
Yeah, maybe you should have looked at it sometime in the past 140 episodes.
She shrugs. I mean, I guess so. Again, I would be exceedingly careful with it because one, it is damaged, and two, it would twist them.
I know careful, sure, and obvious, the wretched intentions of Des Veritas aside, it's something, at least.
Rosa looks at you. Sorry if this is rude. Do you mind if I just examine this?
By all means.
Look,
Yeah.
the last time we looked at it, we were like level 4 or some shit. We weren't on this level yet.
Yeah, let me...
We weren't ready for it yet.
Jesus, that's your use magical device? Fuck me. All right.
She's a Ka sorcerer.
She is. Fucking A. All right. Yeah, okay, good. She takes it, and yeah. She takes it, and she's very, very careful with it. And looks it over a couple of times. Okay, I think I see how this works. So, here, and she like leans in pretty close to you and shows. So, on the handle of the lantern, it's got various buttons, yada yada, all that jazz. So, turns it on, turns it off, general light, all that. But over here, if I'm understanding this correctly, this is kind of showing how many are in it. And she sets it down in front. And you look, and I gotta go digging through my notes to find this fucking thing.
Let's go.
Let's dig up the ancient notes, the sacred texts.
All right, let me open up my adventure to the underhand
Grabby's Reach.
adventure.
Okay.
Grabby's Reach, yeah. Constant what she used.
Yo, gang, what if Des was in there?
That'd be really fucked.
No.
She looks at it. If I'm understanding this correctly, this has 5 charges. And she sets it down. And if you so choose, you can release them, but they are not as they went in. They come out as shadows. Or bigger.
That will probably represent some sort of issue for the future use of this object, admittedly.
But if you really are looking into dabbling in souls and whatnot, she very gently sets it back on the table. This is not a terrible starting point.
No, not at all. I'm really glad I asked about this, frankly.
You see Victoria kind of clap her hands. Oh, was I helpful?
Yes, immensely.
Oh, yes, good. Oh, I'm so happy to help my boy. And she just leans over and pats you on the cheek a couple of times, smiling. And you see Rosa smile. She's like, that's really nice.
Anyway, thanks. That's really the crux of what I needed. We can still stay for tea, though.
Oh, I'm so I didn't even pour you anything. I'm so sorry. I got caught up with company. And she begins pouring
Accidentally.
tea.
Reaches out for the teapot, accidentally grabs the
Pours the
lantern.
souls.
Tips it. No!
No!
Yeah.
Reaches
so,
out for the teacup. Oh no, this was his backup death plan. It explodes.
Yeah, so if you'd like, because she's fully studied, like, I think Rosa fully studies this, so I can tell you what the Legionnaire Lantern does.
Yeah, sure. Tell us everything about
So
the Legionnaire
I
Lantern.
believe in the past we looked at it enough to at least assess the
We knew that it would release
if
ghosts
you kill
if we
people
used
near
it.
it like sucks their souls in and like gets
Yeah.
charges that way. But yeah,
So actually, looking at my notes again, there are technically 6 charges in this thing.
Oh
because
no,
the way
Hyken's in there.
So the way it works is whenever a humanoid creature is killed within 15 feet, its soul is absorbed and grants it 1 charge. Once per day, you can release as many of those souls as you want as shadows to fight for you. They cost 1 charge each, or you can spend 3 to get a shadow beast. All of these things do strength damage. However, every time you activate this thing, you have to roll a percentage die. For each one you summon out, there is a 5% increase that they all turn on the user.
Whoa.
So if you burn all 6 charges, it's like, all right,
Let's go!
this could be bad.
But also, if we are ever gonna even partially try to use this, then we gotta clear out the backlog.
Yeah, we literally have to clear out the backlogs, either just shunting them out or trying to handle it with a little bit more care than dumping out our garbage.
Get out of here, squatters.
Yeah. No, I gave this item and I was like, man, this could be really scary if they use it. Never had to worry about it. It's been great. Never once had to worry about this thing.
I mean, in fairness, we broke it. If we didn't do that, it'd probably have some be a bit more gung ho about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, people in chat are starting to think of like, wait, who would be inside of this thing? And someone pointed out Conroy from way back in the day, and I'm like, yeah, technically his soul might be in there. He's not coming back, chat.
There's a lot of
dead.
people who could be in here. We simply don't know.
Because you have to think of everyone that was within 15 feet of Dia.
Yeah. And
Also the order in which those people were.
oh no,
Oh,
grub
God.
yummy.
There's a very real chance, because like, I don't know how many people you've killed
No.
in Melee.
My original
No.
sin.
Yeah, may start switching that thought too. Just like, wait, have we been damning a bunch of people's souls unknowingly because they're getting yanked out of the system into this fucking lantern?
You don't know that far.
It's like,
No idea how far that goes.
no idea. Well, shelve that thought, I suppose.
You'd have to do a little bit of research to figure that more in depth of an answer out.
Something to bring up to Dia.
Yeah, something to just kind of stew on, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, no. You have out of curiosity, actually no, I think I'm gonna have her roll a sense motive. One moment. 20 plus. Yeah, this was her job for a while. It isn't long into this like hangout where Rose is like, "Oh, I'll be right back," and she kind of walks on out to go use the restroom or something of the sort. And then your mom leans forward. Are you two dating? Like, I didn't want to like, and if you're just friends, that's great. But I'm just like, I don't know. You two have been like sitting really close and having a lot of fun. And like, you can have fun. Like, I should make that. Like, what's going on?
We're giving it a try.
Oh my goodness! She just claps her hands together.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I'll admit, I'm not the most romantic.
God, so complicated.
So complicated.
I'll admit, I'm not the most romantically inclined, but this seemed like a decent gesture. A lot
You
of...
think Conrad is?
No, that wasn't my assumption. But
It does, yeah.
But a lot of who I am and what I do is wrapped up in convoluted secrets, and she's been out of the loop on a lot of them, so...
Well, I think it's really nice. Just looking at her in the little bit of history I do know, it sounds like she's been through a lot, so... Having someone else around to just kind of maybe not carry those burdens, but to at least rely on a bit. It sounds nice. I know you've only been dating for wait, you've been gone for like 2 weeks. How long has this been going on?
We started when I left, so we've, I suppose, temporally been dating for 2 weeks, but that's a bit disingenuous.
If we are not counting time shenanigans, how much time are we looking? Wait, if you said Maze, it's been like 2 days?
Yeah, it's been like 2 days.
You better take her somewhere nice.
I plan on it, but as always happens in my line of work, stupid bullshit has cropped up, and we have to do business first.
All right, well, I know you'll do the right thing.
I'll certainly try to.
You'll succeed. You don't have to say you'll try. I know you.
You haven't known me that long either.
Kind of furrows her brow. I will not handle any of this naysaying. You are my boy. You are the best in the world. Not up for discussion. Thank you for your time. And she goes back to her tea.
You are the best around, and nothing is going to ever keep you down.
Oh, classic woman moment.
Oh, woman.
Woman.
Well, glad to have you in my corner, then.
She just gives a little cheers with her cup and goes back to sipping. But yeah. So yeah, you've learned some interesting details.
Yeah, that'll make for a fun discussion later.
Yeah. Where do we want to hop over to now? Because let's see here. Redpath, I think you also wanted to go talk to your dad, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I had another thing in mind, but I only have 5 gold.
What is
That's just enough for shrimp and golf.
Yeah. Well, no, it's 10 gold shrimp and golf.
Oh, fuck, that's right. Maybe...
What did you have in mind?
No, that could be a later thing when I have some fucking money.
Garen has some money.
Redpath opens his pocketbook, just like, oh, let's treat my dad to let's treat my dad to a walk.
We could get him fish. He likes fish.
He could get fish himself, though.
Yes, but it's still a gift.
So I think about how long does it take for Garen to like get out of his head? Because I imagine this is gonna be a thing he's gonna be like fucking bummed the whole evening, like the rest of the week, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this is not something that is going to go away from his mind today. I mean, I can't really describe he is perky now because that's not Garen. But he does get to a point where he does like maintain conversation with you, and isn't like actively thinking about it. So what? So let's pretend you didn't have 5 gold and you had maybe 15. What are you hoping to achieve?
Still can't achieve it with 15 gold.
What?
No,
Tell me what
Dad.
you're hoping to.
No!
I can help you.
You wanted to buy a present for Andrin.
Okay. I mean, Jacques has money.
Hey, Dad!
My new boyfriend's daughter is bummed out. Sorry, you're gonna have to back
Hang on,
up
go
a
back a
little.
few steps.
You know the guy you've been fishing with? Yeah. Really? Okay.
Dad, can I bum 20 bucks?
Oopsies.
Yeah, I do want to go visit my dad, though.
All right. Do you bring Garen?
I think that would be a good idea, probably.
All right.
I don't want to leave Garen by himself, just there on the pier like, hello! Wow, that's incredible. You can hear it bouncing off the cliffs.
That's just how he be. Let me go over to Jacques' house. Jacques is just chilling out, reading a book when he gets a knock at the door. He puts the book down, and there is a moment where he like reaches for a mace and goes, nah.
It's funny because in my head I was thinking, open up, it's the police.
He scoots on over and opens the door. Oh, Ron. Garen. Hey, I'm sorry. Come in. Come in.
Hi. Are we interrupting? Is this a bad time?
Yeah, you know I'm so busy. Get in here.
Oh my god, entertaining so many guests.
Yeah, well, you know, I've got a lot more now. Hey, Garen. You see them, like, give a big handshake to one another, and Garen, like, actually pats him on the shoulder. Yeah, it's good to see you again, Jacques. Welcome. Please have a seat. If you want a drink or something to eat, I'm happy to get something ready for you.
Redpath realizes how much food he has left over. Preserved food that he's not going to eat. Do you actually want a bunch of food instead? Because I have a bunch that I don't think I'm gonna be able to eat.
I mean, I'm not gonna turn down free food, so...
Yeah, no,
sure.
This is happening because I don't want to have to keep carrying this around and looking through my bag for it and everything. I didn't come over just to give you this, actually. This is probably very useful. You should probably get out of town.
Jacques kind of looks around a bit. You're gonna have to give me more of a reason than that.
Yeah. So... We've got some information that says that, the Keepers are going to be making a bit of a move towards Leviara probably within the next week, and we don't exactly know how negotiations are going to go, but I feel like, might as well give you the warning that things could get pretty bad around here.
Oh, okay. Politely, I decline. If the Keepers are coming to town, and they're gonna get a lot of people hurt, you're gonna need every cleric you can get.
He kind of stops and realizes, oh yeah, he can fucking heal people. For some reason with Redpath, he keeps forgetting that his dad is, like, not just a normal sad man. He forgets that he is capable of a lot of impressive things, because to him, he's just a dude.
Yeah, that's super fair. You get the feeling, thinking about it more, there was probably a time when people, like, maybe did try to mug him at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably did something that made that shit stop forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he puts his hand on his hip. I appreciate the concern. I really do, Laurent. I really do. But, I'm not leaving again. I'm not... If I can keep any families together. By the end of this, I want to do it.
Okay then. Puts his hands on his hips.
Did you really come all the way here to say hi, get out? Like, if it is, fair enough, but I'd hope you'd stay longer than that.
I can if you need me to.
I don't need you to, but I'd like you
Are
to.
we busy? I mean, we're like a little busy, but...
We are always busy, Redpath. Garrett crosses his arms.
He gets it.
He very, very quietly, he kind of like mumbles and looks down. It's only been like a few days for me. That's true. Okay.
Garen, you notice, takes a deep sigh. My apologies, that was harsh, but you must admit, regardless of the time that you have been gone, we are always busy.
This is true. Okay, how about instead of leaving, you help me do work then?
You see Jacques smile. Sure. What'd you have in mind?
Well, I thought it would be a good idea to ask around and, see who's in charge of, I guess, the food supply lines for the city. I've already talked to some of the grocers before, and they've explained that it's Hazel Hill and such, but I was wondering what roads specifically are used, or whether it's more so the docks for food, because if this is going to be a problem, I'd at least want some lines of communication open in case things go wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, your mom and I traveled a lot, and sure, some of the roads have changed, but a lot of the pacts haven't, and where we get food from. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. Hazel Hill, Sweetstone, those are our two biggest food reserves. Sweetstone a little more so just because it's a hell of a lot closer, to be fair. But there's a lot of smaller towns in between here and Anchors Up, not to mention Bitter End. So we get a lot of resources from there as well. Melody Meadows, we can get some things from.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's many paths in. If you really wanted to, there is also Cambrian, which is another coastal town that actually imports to us directly. You know, like we get a lot of pork.
Oh,
but,
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cambrian's part of the coalition, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That might be off of the table.
Jacques kind of shrugs. I mean, maybe, but if by
I'm sure we
chance-
could find some butchers who are willing to go under the table about it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jacques just throws a hand out. I should be clear. If anything, it's more of like the pinkies out pork and things like that. So some nobles might turn a nose, but politely, fuck them.
Okay. In that case, could I put you into contact with the portmaster, and then you two could discuss some things about it? Because really, we need to get word out to multiple people.
Yeah. I mean, what message do you want sent out? I mean, I guess that's probably the most important part here.
Probably to start stocking up. Avoid any overuse, any excess or anything. Start doing your preserves. I know it's winter, so most preserves are already set, but if there's any that people could put aside.
For sure. I mean, to be fair, Leviara is a city of surplus. We are very, very lucky.
Well, they might have to get used to not.
I know. I'm just saying we've got a good start. That's all, Red. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. With your permission, I'd also like to reach out to all of the churches, get them ready. Not for conflict, but for recovery.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, because there's this nice girl over at Temple of Nice, Eurus. Kind of quirky gal, but she's good. She knows what she's about.
Oh,
she's
the girl with the dark lipstick.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sylph lady. Very, very odd, but very pleasant. So I can reach out to her, see if she's got some more contacts to reach out to, and yeah, don't worry. I'll be real. a lot of the other clerics are not fighters,
No, of course not.
but I am. So, you know?
Oh, you know what? There's another person I could actually put you into contact with. He knows a little bit of healing magic. He is the steward for the Hersus, actually. It's more specifically Oleander's personal chauffeur, but like, you know, we go back, so I'm sure that you could figure something out there.
Cups his chin and thinks, chauffeur.
Elven guy, glasses, dark hair.
Art again, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I bumped into him a couple of times. Decent fella.
Mm-hmm.
But politely, I don't think I fully trust him.
Why? What's wrong with Artie?
He's a fast talker. You know, I just... Listen, if you trust him, then I'm gonna trust him because I know you don't trust anybody.
I guess he does talk a little fast.
I see. Now that you're thinking about it, he's wooed you.
No, too late for that.
Puts a hand on his hip. What do you mean?
It was a fast summer, Pop. I don't know what to tell you.
Looks over at Garen. Any idea what the hell he's talking about?
Anyway, so I have a lot of actual rations here that I brought with me. We thought we were going to go through a lot more of it, but turns out it only took us a few days.
Well, I mean, should I really be the one to get it if we're going to be needing to be rationing stuff soon?
You get first pick. I mean, how
Well.
much can one skinny guy eat?
I mean, fair. Let's see here. What do you got? He like reaches out.
Simsalad cabbage. This is, I don't think this is allowed in Cragmer's Fissure anymore.
Yeah, probably not. They're kind of sticklers for stuff.
He just
No.
takes out this big bag and starts going through it like, ooh, we have this that Dia didn't want to finish.
What was that Dia didn't want to...
It was something like Dia didn't want to eat any meat because we'd been in the meat house.
Oh, sure. All right, fair enough. I mean, like, that's a reasonable thing, to be fair.
Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, Jacques takes a couple of things. You notice that he doesn't take much. He just takes a couple of things where it's mostly like, that's annoying to make, and I know it's good, so I'm taking that. But outside of that, no, he doesn't take that much. A holy man to the end.
Yeah. If he's not looking, Redpath will sneak in a bit of pie if he has it.
Sure.
He'd
If you
press
wanna-
it for later.
You can give me a cooking check
Oh,
to
shit.
sneakily, because it's like hiding a treat in someone's
Yeah.
lunchbox. This ain't sleight of hand.
The tables have turned.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Is this secretly how the Pie Association infiltrates? Like, if you take a
Possibly.
bite of their pie, you enter into the Fey Pact?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna roll in secret.
Papa Partridge Berry.
All right. Doesn't seem like he noticed, so he'll have a jump scare pie later.
Cool.
Jacques puts everything away and then turns back. So, yes, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to give you a heads up on, because you've been gone for a little bit. Seems like you're in one piece. Kind of like looks you over a bit.
No, it's more just thoughts, and we learned a lot of information, and it was really gross there.
I don't know exactly what you went through, but I'm glad you're back. So, and don't worry, I've had plenty of company. Garen and I have been going out fishing basically every other day. It's,
Oh,
it's
that's
been
excellent.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like, no offense, Garen. You were kind of a stick in the mud to begin with, but yeah, you've opened up a bit more. You've been a little bit more chatty. I don't know what changed, but yeah, it's nice. Garen crosses arms. Yes, you know, good company and all that. Glowing review. Nice to hear. Turns back to you and smiles.
Did you two catch any especially large fish?
Always. Garen, like, still looking out the window. You get the feeling it's a thing of like he doesn't want to engage because he's embarrassed, but also he can't turn off his security brain. You get the feeling right now there are 2 high priority people in a small location he's not familiar with.
He's a fucking dog.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, yeah.
He literally is. So he is
Look,
still
Nash
looking
does
out
the exact same thing. Don't be mean to him.
Yeah. So like you see him like looking out the window, and occasionally people walk by, and I wouldn't say he like lunges at the window, but there's like a like an intimidation tactic at people walking
Random
by.
person on the street, Garen looking through the window, suddenly.
Yes. Anyways, we caught a lovely salmon.
Oh, wow.
Yes. No. If you'd like, I would be more than happy to share with you some of the things we caught. Maybe do some cooking together.
I would really enjoy that, actually.
Good.
I can share with you some of the things we caught, and then he rows you over to the secret cove of large fish.
He rows me over to Conrad's dead body. It's just a pillowcase filled with stones.
Tragic, right?
I'm not crazy, right? That's
Oh my
Conrad.
He painted the beard on. He really did. He went all out.
Look at his eyes. They flattened out on one side.
Oh.
Googly eyes.
They're so dead inside.
Oh, this is dreadful. Oh,
Terrible.
it's a lot of money, though.
Oh boy, I only have $5. This is great.
Jacques. So, I think Jacques actually kind of looks at you a bit. I've been curious. You're doing okay on finances, right? Like, I know you do a lot of traveling, and I know you donate to folks as well. I mean, hell, gestures to the food you give, and I just want to make sure my kid's doing all right.
Well, I'll never turn down a donation, but here's the thing, is that it's gonna go in a flash. It's either gonna go in a flash or I'm gonna keep it and not use it for weeks and weeks, and then it's gonna go to someone else, so... I would appreciate that, but...
It's better than me hoarding it. And besides, your mama and I, we were kind of making a little fund. I know it's stupid, considering you hadn't even been born yet, but we wanted to make sure that whatever path you took, you'd have a good start. So, he walks away, and
He looks over kind of sadly about that.
And you hear some kind of like moving up boxes, and you hear something like fall. Ah, shit! All right, okay.
Oh, should we help him?
No, he'll be fine. And you see Jacques come back out, and pretty large bag, and he hands it to you.
Oh, wow, okay.
Then, when I give this to you, don't try to repay me. Don't worry about how you're spending the money. Let's be real. This was never meant to be mine or Penny's money. I want you to use it however you see fit. So if that means donating to churches, great. If it's giving it all to friends, whatever. If it's, I don't know, gambling and hookers, fine. Whatever. I just wanted this for you to just extra security, I guess. I don't know.
Here, come here.
He's gonna hold out for a hug.
He's a little hesitant, but then he comes in and wraps his arm around you and pats you on the back a couple of times. But you notice that he like tightens, but then very quickly lets go. You get the feeling his brain space is, because he is a follower of Garana, which is Earth and Love, which is also tied into family heavily. He wants to like keep this here for a while, but he understands you do not like contact, and so he is not going to press any further, and he very gently lets go. So, whatever you decide to do, smiles. Safe travels, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. we'll let you unpack all that. He motions over here to the pile of food. We'll get out of here.
Yeah. Laurent, you're never in my way. You are... Anytime we share the road together, I'm more than pleased.
Okay. Do you have any words of wisdom from my father before we go?
How's tomorrow looking? Yeah, I could go fish. Sounds good. See you then. You just
Really are dating a man who hangs out with your dad.
Can't get better than this, bro.
Like, as you guys walk out, Garen's like, I cannot keep this secret from him, Redpath. It is destroying me. I fish with the man.
Jacques can probably hear a very hearty, stupid laugh from outside the door.
Yeah.
Listen, you have my blessing to tell him. It's whatever makes you most comfortable.
I've had nearly 2 weeks and have not pulled the trigger.
Yes, but you've had 2 weeks to think about it, and I've had, like, what, 3 days maybe?
Then you should be more gung-ho, excited to speak with your father.
Oh, this is my problem now.
He is your father!
Yes, and I appreciate him dearly.
He is merely a very good fishing friend.
He just puts his head in his hands.
Oh my god. If I see him before you do tomorrow, I'll tell him.
I will make that happen.
Oh my god.
I will avoid him. I will flake on our arrangement.
I will flake on our fishing trip.
No, I would never flake on your father. But I would use you as a shield.
I was thinking of a pun with fish flakes. No, it's not coming to me though. Oh well. Again, I will tell him next time I see him.
Good. I can see where you've gotten a lot of your, better habits.
Oh, I have better habits?
Do not, no. No.
Oh, no, you're supposed to compliment me. Come on,
No,
I
no.
asked for it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was a, like you were trying to twist this on me as if I had
No.
said something wrong. No.
I would do that to somebody else, but not to you.
He's like genuinely taken aback. Thank you. That is kind. No, I just mean your father is very giving. Softly
I'm
spoken.
sorry, just looked over Sunroof's comment, Nash smoking weed. Took me out of it.
You know, you both smunk weed.
We honk the bobo.
No, but maybe your views on family are a bit different, but love remains. The care and concern for others remains. But despite his generosity, I can tell he is still the same individual who would, well, he would sacrifice much for others. He would never destroy himself for another. And I think that is an important trait, and one I think is very good about you. Because I would be very disheartened if you decided to try to be too heroic.
That Redpath has a not a surprise smile, but like a contented smile. It's pretty convenient that Garen has gotten to know Jacques a bit better over this past week or two, because Redpath, when he was telling Jacques about, hey man, trouble's coming, that whole time he was thinking, should I say don't be a hero? He seems like he might be a hero. But hearing Garen say that means, oh no, I can trust him to not be a hero. Okay.
Garen just continues to walk. The thing that you're also realizing with Garen is, like, he's a weird person to have as a partner because he still talks to you the same, really, but every once in a while he seems to get more personal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem forced. It just seems more like, oh, this has been approved of, so be it. And then he will continue. He still has a very military walk.
He has the Aram walk.
What? Hang on.
Yeah, hold on. I've never seen Aram walk. Describe it to me.
Me and Lamp are out of the loop here on the apparent Aram.
Yeah, you're gonna
walk.
need to elaborate on that remark.
Oh, kind of standing with your feet kind of together in the back, and observantly, hands behind the back. Very important.
That's a standing. That's not a walking.
You can do that and then walk.
I do not have a military gait. I do not march.
Yo, fucking Aram Gate. What's going on here? Who's telling the truth?
What is happening?
I will say that is how Conqueror Pain walks. Her
yeah,
arms
yeah,
are
yeah.
always behind her back, and I would not subject that to Aram. So, but yeah. So yeah, you two have a nice walk and all that. You had a nice time. I should say you can add 500 platinum.
What the fuck?
College fund. This is not even fucking around. Jacques has been saving this money.
Yeah.
Oh
Don't
my god!
don't blow it all on hookers.
Listen, do you know what kind of turns the plot would have to make for that to happen?
A hooker walks up to you. Please, I'm so poor. Oh no. Well, here you go.
Oh, I'm just such a bleeding heart, you know?
God. Dia, Nash, is there anywhere that you wanted to venture off to? Is there
Sorry,
anything
I'm
that
still 500 platinum. This guy.
I will say that is not all of his money.
Meanwhile, Jacques eating nothing but canned beans for the next month straight.
He's a simple
Why the
man.
fuck did I do that?
So I'll be real. Jacques and Penelope made a lot of money in their mercenary travels, like to
Killed
the
a lot
point.
of really dangerous people. So
Yeah, and to the point where they were going to straight up just retire in Leviara like 20-some years ago. And
Like
so
a proper
Jacques-
D&D character.
Yeah, and so Jacques moved here, and he has just been saving his money, and he lives a very simple life because that's just the kind of person he is. He doesn't have his eccentricity anymore. She's gone. But yeah,
Damn.
damn, that's sad.
we're in
Anyways.
I'm sick.
I'm sad.
I mean, I think, like I think I said last session, the first stuff on Dia's agenda was going to be checking, hanging out with Fez, getting to spend some time, and spending a while at some point, faxing Jasper the updates, or
Sure.
leaving a voicemail on Jasper's number that they don't check anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're going to be using the crossbow, I presume, to be doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you talk through it a couple of times.
I think
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, I don't recall, and I should have fact-checked this before the stream so I wouldn't have to potentially look like a buffoon, but
Sure.
if I recall correctly, I don't think after the night at the Weavers where everyone locked me in the fucking basement, I don't recall telling anyone other than the Weaver, potentially, the very specific thing that Yearn had visited personally. Is that... Or did I?
I believe you did.
I don't think you did explicitly, though.
No.
I think I don't think you did anything explicitly, so it exists in the limbo of this seems like something you might tell us about if you've been listening to any of the personal criticisms you've received.
Yeah. I think... Oh, man. Okay, I don't want to make that call right now on the spot, but for sure she's gonna tell Jasper about that if she hasn't told anyone yet. And by tell Jasper, I mean, not actually get it through to Jasper.
Yeah,
but
pretend to
go-
tell Jasper.
Go through the motion of of unburdening that to
You know, she
Jasper,
typed it all up in her Discord, didn't hit send.
Yeah, and I think to Fez too.
Oh.
Because Fez has been, I mean, obviously, you know, there's the emotional closeness, but it also, Fez has been Dia's partner in crime on sorting through a lot of the Addis stuff. So I think there's an element of like, yeah, she deserves to know. This is too major to, it would be disrespectful as a scientific colleague at least to not fill her in on that.
Yeah. Would you like to chat with her?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me grab.
Everybody talk with their partners.
Everybody. Yeah.
Walk this lonely road.
Oh
No, it's okay. You're busy cleaning with Andrew, remember?
Wow, that's so cool.
You also have a sword who could be your girlfriend. Come on.
She got tits.
And she loves you.
She does love you. I hate to say it. Scream Eater would describe loving Nash. She thinks Nash is great.
I love the unexpected, the reveal of Scream Eater's personality.
It's just like a doting lady.
Doting mama.
Just a nice lady who just thinks he's really neat.
And she's right.
Mm-hmm.
I read it less like a mama, more like a late 30s woman who has become enchanted with like a mid-20s strapping young lad.
The head of the Nash fan club.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not shown. There are dozens of papers and books strewn about around you because every time you say something, Fez is adding it to multiple journals and dating all of them and also cross-referencing with other notes and things of the sort that she has. This is amazing. Okay, so like the fact that you've succeeded in the Crocowolf, which I've actually brought your manuscript here, and she slams down the 500 pages. I've read through it a couple of times. There were a couple of grammatical errors. I fixed those for you. But anyways, so one of the things that you had mentioned in here was the concern of maintaining sentience because it would be like two instincts trying to... how is that going, especially considering the whole, Edis thing?
Yeah.
Like, is that okay?
Well, other than that first night in the Wandering Woods, it hasn't felt too different when I assume that form. I mean, when I do it voluntarily anyway.
Sure.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the kind of touch and go maintaining of control from last time isn't going to be a recurring theme, since that was my first transformation with the crocodilian lycanthropy, as well as under the influence of the Wandering Woods. I hope.
Interesting.
I think. It's been getting easier with the just the wolf. I'm probably going to need to play it safe next full moon. Next full moon is, she starts looking at astronomy charts. When is the next full moon, Will?
Well, 12 days have passed. You know what? Actually, Sprite had posted something very useful. Let's go look at that really quick.
Oh, the time lapse chart. Yeah.
Next estimated full moon. Yeah. So, I think your time skip actually helped skip it.
Oh, nice.
So it should be like another 2 weeks or so.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
2 weeks. Okay. That's probably enough time to wrap up a major political crisis and plot to destabilize the entire continent.
I mean, you already did that once in basically a week and a half, so little time, little extra time to spare. Out of curiosity, so you mentioned that you've got a pretty good handle on the wolf, mostly because of, I mean, at this point you're just experienced with it, and you're amazing. But with also the like transmutation magic, I'm sure that Sorry, I'm rambling. My question is, are you able to then shift specifically into the the were crocodile?
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh.
Actually, I come to think of it, well, since that lycanthropy manifested, the form I've been assuming just sort of naturally has been the hybrid one. I haven't tried to become just a werewolf or just a were-crocodile.
Fez shrugs. I mean, it could be worth
I mean,
experimenting.
for science. Yeah, hang on. Gets up out of the chair. Yeah, there's space. I'll stay away from the carpet just in case.
She is immediately leaning forward, clipboard in hand. She has one pen in hand, but you see that there's two more next to her in case that one fails. She'll just throw it and grab another one. She does not want to waste a moment.
Someday when I can hold this for longer without any issues of control, I can get a scientific sketch from you and a painting from Maze.
Oh, that's actually great, as for reference in the book and whatnot.
His commissions
All
are
right.
piling up.
DM's closed. Comms filled 2 months.
Hey, can I get a sketch? It's been 3 days.
No!
I've been in the Wandering Woods for 3 days.
All right. Well, I mean, you tell me, Will. Am I able? Do I need to roll? Am I able to become just a werewolf or just a were-crocodile?
You are able to do either, no problem.
Okay.
My brain space is, again, because you are so focused on transmutation magic, you are way ahead of the curve compared to most people. On
Most
top of
people
that,
who have been bitten by 2 were creatures.
right. Well, that's the other thing, is you're also in uncharted territory because Fez has also probably brought up, she goes, I got curious about this concept. I don't think anyone has tried, and I politely think it's because it's batshit insane. But, that's kind of fun. It's reminding me of the Sick Lands in a way. Politely, affectionately, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I think more of what it is it's the first time that you have turned into strictly the were-crocodile, because you've become the crocowolf, to be sure. Look at this little guy. I'll make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you become a very large bipedal crocodile. Fez immediately stands up and starts walking around and examining you to fully get an understanding of your physiology and how it differentiates from your other forms. Okay. So, I guess I should ask, do you have any instinctual desire for a little nip or something of the sort?
Do I?
Again, I don't think so. So, I'll be real. Going through the Wandering Woods and on your own pressing through the full moon bullshit has helped you restrain this far more so. And I think the other big reason is that normally this would be a physical check, with the aid of Astrofel Blackthorn just boosting your general constitution. You get the feeling that is also playing a part in maintaining your human form because of that light amount of physiomancy that has very tangentially restricted your form in some capacity. Because as you know, transmutation will not, if he were to fully physiomance you, you wouldn't shapeshift at all, you might wager.
No, I honestly don't think so. It's, it feels very different out here. I've gotten used to the woods, being around in this form all the time up to a certain point. Yeah, no, honestly, this is easy mode compared to that. This is I feel entirely myself, just almost exactly the same as when I polymorph with a spell. That's, and honestly, that actually takes a very small degree of the thrill out of it, but I think most people would say that was irresponsible way to look at it. So, we'll leave that between you and us.
You can feel a light tink 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 going down all of your teeth as you're talking, and she's counting, seeing how many more teeth you've gotten and whatnot.
Yeah, let me make this easier on you. Oh.
Oh, thank you so much. Don't worry, I was listening. No, I think I understand what you mean. It's just like I enjoyed working in the Sicklands because, sure, it was dangerous, but it only amplified my understanding of how important this knowledge would be. Which reminds me, I hope the South team is doing well.
And you
Break
can
up.
find out if they are!
Tomorrow! Yeah. She steps back. Okay. You seem to have the same number of teeth as a regular crocodile. Maybe a couple more just because you are indeed large, is the scientific term. Yeah, no. Physically, you are looking impressive.
As usual.
As usual. Don't worry. We're on the same page. She just takes a couple steps back. Okay, so shifting back, how easy is that? Yeah,
Oh,
you're
hang
not
on.
that big. Yeah. And she kind of like walks around examining. No tail, no scales. Yeah, no, you seem to be 100%. Well, she reaches out for your right hand. This is still this.
Yeah, but that's its whole own kettle of fish.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've made no progress on that. I don't really know what to do.
Honestly, I think the last hurdle is one that I'm going to have to clear a lot using my own ingenuity. Moved beyond the realm of the physical for the most part. And now it's all metaphysical soul nonsense. And honestly, there aren't a lot of living scholars I could even go to. Scientists. No, mostly the people who did all that research are mostly just terrible people who are now dead, and I have to go around picking up their garbage.
Oh, you notice that she was about to stop writing, realizes she wants to finish her sentence that she was writing, does so, and then looks up. Well, I mean, I'm already doing a lot of research for a couple of other things. Should I make this a priority? I don't want you to be overwhelmed because you just got back from Blackthorn Manor. There's this whole new were-crocodile thing. To my understanding, Addis is still rocking around in your mind. Dear, she reaches over. And it's the first time you've heard her describe you as such. No. Grabs your hand. I think this is great. You will never hear me tell you no to any of this. But it doesn't change the fact that I am a little scared. Because we are in really uncharted territory. And I think it's very cool of how far you're willing to go. But, like, you've got more or less like 3 other instincts that I'm aware of going on inside of you, and I don't know. I'm a little scared.
I understand. I don't think there's really much of anything I can say. I've said a lot of words to a lot of different people about it, and I think I'm coming to appreciate the degree to which talk is cheap about here. I've thought a lot about what am I gonna do about it, and I don't want to take me away from you. Or from other people that I care about. I'm going to really actually be doing everything that I can so that no matter what happens to, all of this, just runs a hand up and down her body, that I'll still be me up here,
Well, I'm glad that you're keeping that mindset because I'll be honest, I felt like for a while there, you weren't too worried about that. It really felt that way, and I didn't know how to bring it up. I'm sorry to bring it up now that you're, lack for a better term, balls deep in this, but I'm glad that you're being mindful of that. Because listen, I'm guilty of it too. Not for this exact same thing. And you notice that she's been writing as she's talking to you. I sometimes can't put the pen down. Like now, I can't put it down. She sets it down. I get too focused on the work and I forget that there are other things aside from my numbers and my ledgers and papers and what I'm studying. And it can get unhealthy. But you're acknowledging it, so that's like huge.
I appreciate that, but also it's funny. That's like the tone of voice I'd expect to hear. Like, oh, she's walking.
She gets a bit of a chuckle. Sure, I understand that, but also, I really appreciate that you would confide in me in these sorts of things. I know we're the dating thing and whatnot, so that's kind of par for the course.
We're the dating thing, as
Okay,
they say.
we're right. Okay, yes, sorry. Like, she just kind of drags. You notice that her nails have gotten very long. It looks like she's probably just kind of forgotten about them with all the travel and whatnot. So she just kind of like scrapes the table a little bit. What I mean is, I appreciate that you are willing to share in these studies with me, not even just from a scientist's perspective, but also from a more personal perspective.
Did you ever, when you were studying the sick lands, did you ever come up with the idea for an experiment and think that could really help a lot of people? This would be a very significant thing to learn, to understand, and try and work towards a cure for something, or just a solution that could help people who've been hurt in one way or another, and think, this is all great. There's no way I can test this safely, and conclude that that the only person you could use as a test subject was you, ethically speaking?
She pauses for a long, long time. I admittedly had considered that a couple of times. There were some instances where, we needed to see how diseases impacted the body and whatnot. And more importantly, we needed to find ways to maybe dampen the effects on the body. Now, you can have plenty of individuals that get sick from just going outside and all that jazz, but I don't want to experiment on them, especially with the limited knowledge that we do have, and also without their consent, and also a full understanding of what might happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I did experiment on myself a few times, and I kept those details to myself. I did not even tell Mr. Tobbles.
I don't think there's any kind of broad philosophical point I'm trying to make, but it was a thought that had crossed my mind. And it's been on my mind a little more just, well, with Addis, and in certain respects with Mr. Blackthorn, realizing that there are more, beyond just the horizon of trying to become whatever I want to become, there's more people out there that I'm starting to consider as potential beneficiaries of, well, I don't know, wherever I end up. And I suppose I just wanted to know what your stance on it was. I I can't imagine you were happy having to do it, but I won't lie. I feel a little bit reassured to know that it was a line you thought was justifiable to cross at least a few times.
She looks down. I think it strongly depends. I did it mostly because I was already fairly resistant to diseases in general. You know, I'm a tiefling. I sort of just have more natural resistances to these sorts of things, or at
What's
least.
the point of that 5 fire resistance if you're not going to test it out, right?
Well, right, kind of, sort of. However, I stopped, not because I was concerned from an ethical standpoint or anything like that. Genuinely and badly, I thought it was too efficient, and I was more or less destroying myself before, without really thinking about it, because I was trying to get the next number, trying to prove the next hypothesis, and that's not healthy. Obviously, when you're dealing with diseases and things of the sort, and so I had to stop. So I can't tell you to not do it because, you know, I'm not going to control your life, Dia. That's not fair. That's wrong. It's just like I don't want you to tell me what to do, right? So if it's a path you want to go, I guess go for it, but I would remind you, you can go too far, and depending on what you are trying to self-experiment with, maybe no one can help you.
Yeah. It's sort of... I'm not sure, you know, I've been rethinking this again and again. And so I'm not sure I entirely am convinced by my own argument anymore, but I think there's just something to me, there's something about the idea that there's got to be a way, and it's going to be undeniably unexplored and dangerous finding it. But, you know, if no one ever does, then there's so much that people will never get to experience. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be painting this as some kind of noble self-sacrifice thing, because I'd probably be doing it either way. I was doing it for years, only thinking of myself. So maybe this is all just a bit of lame, I don't know, after the fact justification. But starting to think more about the obligations I might have to other people, you know?
Fez nods. And not even just for me, mostly where my concern comes in as well is, one, I am curious what's prompted this thought process, because no offense, this was never here before. This is kind of new. I don't know where this is coming from. It's nice to see, but curious. My big thing is because of what you are studying. That sort of self-testing is exceedingly dangerous because, and listen, pot calling the kettle black. I dabbled in diseases. I make one mistake, I become a massive biohazard to everyone in that facility, and everybody dies, or worse. The same applies to you, Dia. If you do lose control, not only are you going to kill people, you might do something worse and turn them into this just entirely new, well, were creature.
Yeah.
And we have no idea of its weaknesses. Like, there's a very real chance, because they all operate differently. There might be a whole new physiology here that we can't counter as well. I mean, because of the, crocodile form, maybe it's more resistant to high frequencies, which used to be a method to deal with werewolves, or highly resistant to cold, which used to be a great method to deal with were-crocodiles. And suddenly, two advantages that just a regular person has is gone. I mean, that's how the sick lands work, basically.
I should write this down.
Right.
Your point is taken. Your point is taken, but also I should write this down.
D, I've already written down. Don't worry.
Oh,
Here it is.
of course.
She
What
slides
am I
it over.
saying? You've been writing this whole time.
Yes, but genuinely, what sparked this? Like this sort of not even self-preservation, but like politely again, this understanding that there is cause and effect beyond just yourself. This is new.
She gets up and sits down next to Fez again. Honestly, I think, well, some of it is how Jasper took the fact that, well, there was a lot that just didn't even occur to me to tell them, because it didn't really occur to me that it was anyone else's business about what I had been undergoing, and, well, you know, what all was going on in the way of risks to me. And I just didn't see that coming at all. And I feel stupid about it now, but I didn't then. And I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to make it right. I really hope that I do, but I don't know if I will. So
Fez just reaches over and pats your hand.
So there's that. But also, I suppose getting to understand Addis a little better, and Blackthorn, like I mentioned, and I guess there are more people that are like me in ways that I hadn't appreciated. And I don't know. I guess it's just easier to have a completely self-centered approach to the problem when you assume that you're really that no one else could possibly understand, you know?
She nods. No, I get that.
That's not to say I never thought that you understood me, but I think you've always understood me, but I've always understood that you didn't necessarily share all of my, let's say, proclivities. You just looked more kindly on them than many people, I guess.
I won't lie. When we first started being closer, there was definitely a scientific fascination behind it, because it did remind me of the sick land so much, and how the body can change so dramatically, and the fact that you could control it so well. I thought, well, maybe there's something here. Obviously, this has blossomed into something far more, and something that I prefer far more than just being another simple curiosity. That being said, I don't know how Jasper's doing, because we were gone by the time they came back, unfortunately.
I'm just happy they came back at all.
They did. And they did an excellent job in the keep, or at Lancaster Castle. It's the reason we have all the information we do. But maybe this time is good so that they can breathe. And it also gives you time to think about what you want to say. I wouldn't overthink it. I wouldn't complicate it. Maybe a sorry's good enough.
You want me to file these nails down?
Oh. sure, if you don't mind. Yeah, sorry, I'm starting to look like a little were creature myself. She just like puts them out. Like,
I mean,
looks
I
like-
think they look very fashionable, but I think someone less cultured than myself might wonder at the practicality.
Yeah, I mean, she like puts them out. They are cute, but they could be filed down a little bit now that you mention it. So.
I wouldn't want you to make anyone else aware, Fez. I want you to myself.
Ah, well, and I'm not interested in the idea of you being a were Croco-Wolf Fez, so.
Tia stops for a minute. No, I better leave that one.
No. I'm putting my foot. No. she like rolls up a piece of paper and like bats you on the nose like a dog. No, we're not doing. You have enough. Like,
I mean,
we literally just had a long discussion about this. No.
I mean, like I mentioned, I have developed the ability to incorporate aspects of my lycanthropic forms into my polymorph forms, and
No.
alter self is a spell.
I'm curious. No.
Yeah?
No.
You can't tell me you're not.
I had a lapse in the moment.
Just a
No.
little? No?
No.
All right, well, just, let that simmer, let that cook if you ever change your mind.
You see her just tapping a pen. Give me time to think about it. She goes back to writing. You do notice that, like, she's writing with her left hand instead of her right, and she just extends her right hand, if you wouldn't mind. And yeah. You two have a nice, chill evening. Let's see here. Nash, the boy who's been
Bro,
so patient.
I don't know. I'm no thoughts, head empty. I got no clue what this motherfucker is doing.
I have a weird suggestion for you.
Huh.
While you're walking around town, Scream Eater's on your back, and you can feel her, like, quotation marks, looking around, and she's like, "This is positively lovely, Nash, though. If I might be so bold, don't get me wrong, I love this sheath. It's positively lovely. But I couldn't help but notice the handle, it's old, dear. It's looking kind of ratty. And I was curious if maybe we could spruce it up a bit, make it look a little nicer for you, give you a more proper grip on it, and maybe even, if I might be so bold, a little burst of color."
I want it to be nicer for you. Just you.
Just you.
Just you.
No ulterior motive.
No ulterior motives at all. And, like, if I could be so bold as to make a suggestion, I would love it if, like, again, just an idea, just throwing it out there. You can do what you want. It's your sword, me. But what if we put, like, a long kind of like streamer or ribbon on the back of it? That way, when you're swinging me around, there's this like lovely trail of green or something fancy. Again, just ideas. I don't know. You do what you want.
I mean, it kind of like clothing for me, so yeah.
Really?
Can do that.
All right. Well, I couldn't help but notice there's a spot just up ahead that might be a lovely place to see if there's any materials we could use. And you feel the sword gesture to smooth as silk.
You can feel the migraine approaching. But he's like, wait, no. There'll be... It's not going to be just Armella.
No, there'd likely be more people there. Let's see here. Let me move you to smooth as silk. So,
I'm still bustling despite the...
Yeah, you do notice that there's like a couple of Blue Jays in the building now.
But there's still no such thing as bad publicity. Flair Debonair was right as always.
Hey, if anything, it became the talk of the town of like, do you think we could see a body? And they went there and went, oh, these socks are adorable. And then they bought 60 and now they're super
we can
crazy.
see a body?
Listen, nobles suck. I can't stress this enough. You've met all the good ones.
They walk out to Smooth as Silk to have a stand by me, and instead they get fleeced.
Yeah. Nash, you actually get a nice reception when you walk in because as you step in, a lot of people, because you're like the only knoll they've ever seen. The
Of
person at the
course,
front
that's
desk.
Nash, 11th hour. It couldn't be anyone
You
else.
walk
Well,
in.
yeah,
exactly.
Like, genuinely, it is kind of that energy because you walk in and even this blue judge's like, "Oh, Mr. Nash, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here."
Oh, yeah. Hi.
The receptionist stands up. "Oh my gosh, Nash, welcome. Would you like me to get Ms. Dulane?"
Oh, sure. He's thinking, yeah, let's see how she's doing after all of this. Sure.
The receptionist goes up to the door, knocks on it, and then very gently opens it. "Madam Dulane, someone from the 11th hour is here, and they might need your expertise." And someone comes through the door. You barely recognize them.
Oh, oh
Octavia.
my goodness.
Octavia looks far more confident. She has this beautiful pink dress. She's keeping her hair down. And she walks out and you notice that she's got heels on and it looks like she's struggling in them a little bit.
Oh,
But
she's-
on the positive side, she is now like 5'3".
She
So,
looks
like,
lovely. She's 5'3", and I hear heels make your butt look great, so that's a +2.
Everything's coming together for Octavia. She comes up. "Oh, Nash, hi. Welcome to
Hi,
Smoothest.
Octavia.
Yeah, hi. Welcome to Smoothest Silk. So it sounds like you might need a little assistance with something."
Oh, yeah. This probably not something you would have out here, but, I'd like to spruce up the handle on my sword.
"Oh, She kind of tilts her head and thinks, "Well, we're not super experienced with something like that, but I mean, if you'd be willing, I'd be more than happy to try." And it isn't long until you hear some doors get
Could
thrown
be something
open.
to work on. Maybe Blue Jays like something like it, or so.
Oh,
More business thing.
that's true. It isn't long until you hear a door open to the
Oh God, does
northeast.
she have a new icon too? No,
No.
No,
okay.
no,
She's her
she
normal self.
she looks cleaned up from the last
That's
time you
normal.
saw her.
I thought it was going to be an in-between of her full depression icon and her normal one.
No. As a fun reminder of Armella's like depressed look. Let me get her depressed look, and I'll put them.
Yeah, no,
side
we
by
gotta have a
side.
quick side by side here. It's been so long since we've seen her. Happy is not the word for it, but
Yeah, no.
Presentable.
Like this is what she was for like days upon days.
Very sad.
And we're back to how you know her as.
Of course.
And she comes walking out and puts on a big ol' smile. "Nash, oh my goodness, welcome back to Smooth as Silk. Octavia, do you have everything handled here, or would you care for a little of my own expertise?" "Oh, well, actually, you might be exceedingly helpful in this. Nash was hoping to kind of gussy up his sword," and Octavia kind of thinks for a moment. Never dabbled in something of the sort, but for the 11th hour, I'm sure we could. Oh, we would love to help the 11th hour.
Back to your usual self.
Just kind of crosses his arms, and he doesn't look like upset or anything. Just like
Just like disappointed. It's like, oh, right, of course, this is still who you are.
Octavia claps her hands. "Yes, we would love to help the 11th hour. And most specifically, Nash, an individual, a person. Please respect them." And Octavia, yes, my apologies, Nash. Some habits die hard. If you'd be so kind as to join me in the back, we can start looking at some possibilities, yes?
That would be great. Thank you.
Right this way. Octavia, will you be joining us? I know you've got a lot of paperwork, what with the whole change in management and whatnot. I can stick around. It's been a while anyways, and again, I can't thank you guys enough. And Octavia just like takes a deep bow towards you, Nash.
No
Right.
worries.
Right. Well, Mr. Nash, I guess is your last name Hour? I don't even know. If you'd be so kind as to join me.
Sister thinks about it and like grimaces like not a good mouthfeel. Don't
calls
like
him-
I don't like Nash Hour.
Calls him Nash 11th Hour, the way you
Like
would
he does
Sam's
genuinely
Undertale.
consider it. He's had the last name thoughts in his head, but
Oh.
he's
Should've
never
been
committed
worried.
to one.
Bunny Made of Bread's got it right. Nash E Hour. E for 11.
Nashy Hour.
Yeah,
Like
bad
Wild E.
mouthfeel.
Coyote.
Mm-hmm.
Armella steps up to this door. Why don't you join us in our VIP area? We spare no expense for the 11th hour in smooth as silk. Everyone, oh my God, she's so kind. What a wonderful woman. I cannot
Just gets to get a load of this guy. Look to Octavia next to him.
Octavia rolls her eyes. Yeah, I know. It's a whole thing. But listen, I won't lie. It does help business. Like she just shrugs. Like the numbers are really good.
Okay, she can do it for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, she puts her hands on her hips. My establishment now.
Good. You deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yes, I couldn't agree more. Octavia has proven herself with her long ventures and lack of homicidal tendencies. Come on in, dear. She just throws the door open. And she walks you in. Would you care for some cheese, some wine, maybe some meats or something of the sort?
No wine, thank you, but we'll have some cheese.
Incidentally, does Scream have any thoughts about all this schmoozing?
Yeah, no, it isn't long before finally Scream just speaks up. Oh, it's so nice that I can finally talk. Hello, Ms. Dulaine. Not you, Octavia. You are an absolute delight. But you, Armella. Honeyed words will only carry you so far with me, mademoiselle. And you notice Armella get this, super sour look of, who the fuck is this bitch?
My sword very discerning client.
This isn't the usual way you're threatened by a sword, but it still counts.
Holy shit.
Armella kind of huffs a little bit. Well, I'm more than excited to assist you with your clothing and whatnot. I guess I'm a little confused. Who the hell am I talking to? Oh.
He takes the sword off of his back. This, you can call her Scream. She is my sword.
Oh,
She can talk.
Oh, thank you so much for the introduction, dear Nash. But for you, Armella Dulaine, you will always refer to me as my full name, Scream Eater. I think it's only appropriate. I'm only on a first-name basis with my wonderful Nash here. You feel the sword just kind of wiggle on the table a little bit.
I'm so sorry, Ms. Eater.
Miss
Oh.
Eater.
My apologies, Madam Eater. Honestly, based on this sword, that might be true. Anyways, Armella scrunches her face up. Right. Well, Ms. Scream Eater, what exactly are you looking for? Oh, little old me. Well, Nash, you know of the idea that I had before, and I'm curious if you're still on board for such a thing.
Yeah. Just to make sure not too long so it wouldn't get caught in things.
No,
But
no,
a
of
little
course
bit
not.
is okay.
No, of course not. And this is why I wanted to speak with you about this idea, Nash, because you are the one that wields me, and I want to make sure that this is as comfortable for you as possible. But I won't lie, a girl wants a new dress every once in a while. Armella looking at this, and your sense motive is high enough, her expression just reads, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah,
Octavia,
you went through that whole
unfazed.
get used to it.
Just staring at it like, does the sword have money?
Yeah, Octavia, unfazed, has been writing down. Okay, well, I hope it's not too bold of me to say, Ms. Scream Eater. Call me Scream, dear. You see Armella once again, like, you son of a bitch.
Am I getting accessed by a fucking sword?
Octavia. Oh, I'm so sorry. Scream. It seems like green would be your color as well as black. And I feel like that would really line up well with your general attire, Nash. Is that kind of the direction we're going?
That would be nice, thank you.
Yes.
I don't really have color here. Mostly just brown on me. So, color could be nice for her.
Yes, but green accents with brown, so lovely. Such natural colors. I think it would really bring out, looks at Scream Eater, your eyes, miss. Well, if you'd be so kind, Nash, if you wouldn't mind standing on our little podium so that I can get a good look at you and your, companion. Just smiles.
You and your armaments.
You and your accessory.
You and your cute
I'm
little
glad
sword.
Octavia is open-minded. This will be going on my review.
As you spin around, Screamlight gets a good look at herself in the mirror, and she's just like, I do have a good curve to my blade. Look at me. It's just like mumbling to herself.
I'm such a catch.
Oh. And to have this man with me. I am such a lucky girl. Now, Army. Yes, miss? I'm thinking. So on the handle, I want it to be alternating between black and green, if you don't mind. Something a vibrant green. I'm looking for something really standouting. And if it can also then trail off of the butt of the blade. I should make it clear to you because you're not familiar with that. That's the bottom of the sword, not the pointy end, dear. Oh, thank you for clarifying, dear. It's so kind of you, Madam Eater. If you won't mind, I'll just get cracking on this. And Armella begins plucking away at this. And Octavia pops on over. I think that sounds like a really nice idea. Nash, is there anything that you would like as well? You know? Like,
Maybe bead to match beads? He points to his own hair beads.
Oh! Yeah, I'm sure we can find you some beads. That should be really easy, actually. Armella, do you have... I've got this, dear sister. Why don't you go find those beads? I'll handle this. Okay, I'll be right back.
Nash just gotta watch it. He has vague sewing knowledge now, and with the weaver, so he's kind of watching what she's doing now.
Okay. So here is Armella's...
Kind of overseeing the process.
This is, no shit, Armella's crafting check for sewing.
Yeah.
For something she's never done before?
For something that she's never done before. And also you get the feeling there's a lot of, like, grumbling to herself. Like, I cannot believe I am being talked to in this manner by a fucking sword. Absolutely fuming.
She's doing the worst job she thinks she can get away with.
Honestly, yeah, it's kind of that energy. But even then, it's like, oh, this is actually pretty great. Especially because this is not something she does. You, once again, Nash, feel Scream Eater on your back. Oh, thank you so much for this, Nash. I really appreciate it. I just realized, do you have money? Because I don't. It's come to my attention.
He looks spent a lot recently, but hopefully still have enough to cover it. Not know about market rate. He sweats.
You hear the machine stop, and she just like a
he doesn't have no money on him.
Like a sprinkler head slowly turns around. I'm sorry. What was that about your? I didn't mean to be so rude. I just couldn't help it here. Your finances might not be spectacular at the moment. Maybe.
Well, he kind of jingles around his belt. He has 450 gold on him. So it's not nothing, but if we're going to this fancy spritzy place, they might try and overcharge him, you know?
Might get fleeced.
Yeah, no. Armella softens up a bit. Well, to help with an understanding of the price point for something like this, we need to understand that this is a whole new territory we never dabbled in before. Not to mention Armella Dulaine, the second head of the Dulaine family and VP of fashion here at the Smoothest Silk facility, me directly aiding in such a marvelous process, and you just hear Scream Eater click her tongue like bored bitch.
You see, there's all these reasons, coupled with the fact that although I was not killed in your presence, you did not make very good friends with me either, frankly.
Honestly, we are borderline neutral at best. And she's like, well, I mean, with something as complex and unique as this, I was thinking probably free, because they saved the city and they saved your life, and Nash is a gentleman, so we're going to do that. That sounds great, dear sister. This is why you're running everything now. This is, yep. Yes, I free it is. And she goes back to crafting, and
I mean, I talk with flair and sometimes publicity worth a lot.
Octavia,
I walk around with sword all time.
Octavia leans in. Hear that? We're getting some free advertising. I think that's more than enough. And a hand lands on her shoulder. I think it would be wise if you tried harder, because I have seen you not try before, and you're doing it right now. Dear sister, no, don't pout at me. Do
Put your
better.
hat back on.
She like grabs the hat and puts
right
it back
now.
on. Do better. And so Armella gets advantage of the roll. Yeah.
Do better.
Octavia steps back. That looks really good already. Okay. If you don't mind, Nash, would you prefer us to fashion it for you, or would you like to do it yourself? Like, because I don't know how comfortable you are, Madam Scream Eater, with other people just, you know, making contact with you. I'm so sorry. This is all new for me. Oh, dear Octavia, you do not need to apologize to me. You are an absolute delight. Honestly, I am truly happy to hear that you are in charge, because let me tell you, this place needed an upgrade. And you hear the machine like get stuck again. It's like, oh, pesky thing, just I'll get it.
That being said, if I'm removed from Nash's grip, I'll have a panic attack.
I will violently scream and cause everyone to be staggered for multiple rounds.
Oops, I dropped my massive sword next to Armella. She started
That's not the one.
No.
Scream Eater looks, Nash, if you're willing to part with me for just a moment, I'll let the girls gussy me up for you. And actually, Nash, I don't want you to see. I want it to be a big surprise.
Oh, okay. Whatever you comfy with.
Okay, just cover your eye. I'll be back in a moment, and I will dazzle you, sweet Nash. And Octavia walks over, and she's like, "Okay, if you don't mind, I'll take her off your hands."
Little heavy, so watch out.
I'm getting ready for that. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. And you hear hit the ground. Ma'am, I'm so sorry. Dear, listen, not everyone can be as strong as mine, Nash. I understand. If you need to drag me, it's fine. Across the stone.
Oh, no. He
you're-
like winces because it's even worse for his ears.
Yeah, no, and you hear screaming, oh, it's fine. That's louder than I thought it would be. That's fine, though. And you're as the sword gets plopped onto the table.
Good on her,
And-
she got it up there.
Yeah. And Armella looks down. And you just hear very quietly between them until Scream Eater just goes, well, Are you going to gussy me up or not? That's your job, right? Your sister said that we get the work, so work.
Don't
Like-
be a
He
Karen.
gets like a shit-eating grin when they can't look like, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Nash,
this is fine.
she's such a catch. All you have to do is say you're my girlfriend, and she'll agree with you.
And so it isn't long until the new wrapping on the handle is fully done, and on the bottom of the blade is a couple of nice long kind of almost leather it's kind of streamers that kind of hang off of this very vibrant green that match the swirling black and white pattern on the handle. You also, when they do turn around, you see that both women are holding the Scream Eater blade out towards you, and you just hear, Nash, I'm ready for you.
Okay, he's not as insane about this. He's like not catching any cues at all.
I should make this clear. Scream Eater is not interested in anything of that sort. This is just her personality, and she just thinks
She's
Nash
just
is
built
cool.
like this.
This is just how she be.
Fancy women love Nash.
Fancy women love
Platonically.
because he's a big, strong guy who's so polite.
Oh my god, it's George of the Jungle effect.
It is! Holy shit, it's the George of the Jungle effect. And you turn around, and yeah, no. So, looking at the handle, it isn't just like a cloth. It is a nice leather, and embedded, alternating in the black, are these beautiful etchings that match similar to the runes on the blade itself. Clearly not magical in any capacity, but it is a nice way to kind of tie into the design. An unnecessary extra step, you feel. And you notice that the streamers that kind of hang off the end, they are cut in a way where they almost kind of give like the general shape of a flame almost, where there's like random cuts in them and they kind of tatter off a bit. And you notice that they've, like for a better term, you know, like when back in the day you could grab jeans that already had holes in them? It's
yes.
kind of that kind of
Pre-cut
vibe.
jeans.
Yeah, where it already has a kind of worn look, but not in a bad way. Like it looks like, ooh, you've had this blade for a while and it's got like a real classy look to it. And Armella finally, once again, there. She's positively glowing, not that she needed much help.
Yeah, this is really nice. Kind of rubbing his fingers over the material to feel it.
Isn't it?
As
Now-
he takes her back because he can tell the girls are struggling.
Yeah, no, oh thank God. I'm sorry. I'm just not built for this. Oh, and you step back onto the podium and hold the sword out, and you hear Scream Eater whistle. Look at us. Oh. Oh, I pity anyone who comes at us now. Absolute morons if they dare to trifle with you.
Absolute bozos.
Absolute bozos.
He just kind of twirls it around and looking at it in a, oh yeah, this looks nice way, and then also a more discerning eye, like, now how can I, like, what's the word?
How can I use this to
Reverse
my
engineer
advantage?
this so that I don't have to come back here again and have Armella bitch talk to us.
Scream Eater, as you twirl her around, she's like, oh, thank you for that. I was really curious how the streamers looked. Oh, I knew it. Beautiful. Oh, this is so nice.
For the fabric, any special thing to clean it?
Octavia turns to Armella. Oh, yes, actually. Here. I've got plenty, and if you ever need a refill, just come on back. I'm happy to give you more. And no, there's no sass behind it. She just hands you a couple of vials, and she's like, obviously don't use too much. If anything, have a rag, put it at the top of the bottle, and then flip it upside down real quick. Get enough on there, and then just very gently wipe it, and it'll make the material last far, far longer. But don't worry, I've already curated it and done some of my own little tips and tricks to make sure that she lasts for a long, long time.
Oh, thank you. I just do, sword care and mourning, so wondering if I had to add something to that.
Armella shakes her head. No. I think this is maybe a once in a few months sort of thing. I mean, unless, of course, blood becomes a common thing. And Screaming, oh, it does, dear, it does. So, whenever, I guess. And Armella looks, right, but all the same, just... I'm sure you'll be able to handle this just fine. And Scream... Yeah.
He smiles genuinely now that the veneer of bitch is off.
The Scream Eater then turns... Well, Octavia, and Armella, of course, bless you for your outstanding work on this. This is absolutely divine. It is so comfortable. It is just the right fit. You did amazing work, Armella. I cannot thank you enough. And Armella, taken aback, oh, well, you are very welcome, Madam Eater. Scream, dear. Call me Scream. Right, well... I think I understand why people talk to me the way they do. Anyways, Armella turns.
Yeah, look in the mirror.
But yes, so unless there's anything else that you need, she gestures, more bread and cheese to your leisure. And Octavia, I actually have a couple more clients popping in. Let me go, smooth that over real quick. And if you don't mind, we're going to need this room pretty soon. Oh, of course. Yeah, don't worry, sis. And Armella actually gives a very quick hug to Octavia and then walks out.
Things doing better around here?
Yeah, it's a lot better now. Basically, almost immediately, Pride actually swung on by, absolute gentleman that he is, and made it clear that a part of the reason why Armella is allowed to not go to jail is if I take over the business and the family in general. And so that's the new change. So I had to kind of dress up a bit. Armella helped me with that a lot, actually. She said I deserve to look nicer. Not just the fact that, I'm a Dulane, but that I deserved it.
You like it and not just wear 'cause have to?
Oh no, I hate these heels, but I love everything else. So I might kick the heels. But it's been nice. It's also I've been in charge of the books again, and I won't lie, I'm kind of annoyed. Yeah, they did really well when I was not here. Very annoyed by that. But I plan on really increasing our profits. And
she
donating.
Talk like that, but also good at talking like that to other noble people. So get it, kind of.
Well, actually, it's working out really great because I'm not good at talking to those kinds of nobles, but Armella is. So we kind of switch. I handle more of the smaller families, and maybe those that aren't, on the same economical level as, example, us, I guess. That's not meant to be a brag. And then Armella takes care of, the bitches. Not you, Madam Eater, not you at all. I mean, and Scream. I know you would never have the gall to say that to my face, as I know it's also just not true. Right. But again, Nash, thank you so much for coming. It was an absolute delight. Doing something entirely new. If I might be so bold, could we maybe add this in our advertising that we do this sort of a thing now? Maybe a testimonial as well?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you do it, you do it, so no reason not to. Also, it is very good.
Yes, and...
Now that she tried.
I've tried this, and I cannot stress enough. This was positively delightful, and I imagine any sentient blade, or lack thereof sentience, would be positively exhilarated for the opportunity, because, and you write that down, because how many swords will give you a glowing endorsement? That's fair. I don't know how to tell people that. I'll write down that both parties were very happy with how it all panned out. So yeah, that'll work. And she just starts writing down. You notice that she doesn't have her huge book anymore. Instead, it's a more reasonable, smaller one. Cool.
I finally got a tablet.
Yeah.
These things are great.
This is dope. But got it from Tathelvier.
I jailbroke it.
He went down the ladder into his cellar to get it for me, and then he started cursing and shouted he couldn't come back up.
He kept yelling, flip it, flip it. We didn't know what the hell that meant. He's dead now.
If anyone asks me, I definitely tell them.
Great. Well, and of course, if the rest of your friends need anything, we'd be more than happy to help them with, well, whatever.
Well, no other of them have talking weapon. Thinks about Dia with Addis's arm. Well, I still ask if they need anything, and tell them you in charge now.
I certainly am, and I should make it clear, no charge for any of this sort of stuff, like for any of you guys. We don't do any deep, fancy enchantments, but, you know, we can gussy things up for you, and we can maybe make some small modifications to help out.
I didn't expect big magic stuff. Besides, other people could probably do that.
She just nods. Well, again, she takes a very deep bow. Thank you so much for coming on by and everything you've done for us.
Of course. He smiles. Big smile.
And she walks to the door and holds it open for you. You notice that even this door might be kind of heavy. Yeah. Oh, Nash, you deserve more than that. Get more.
Well, if you say so.
My man's got a whole wheel of cheese in his mouth right now.
Hell yeah. Did you eat the cheese, Nash? It's shaped like a
distinctly cheese-shaped Nash.
Nash, you was too good to lie. Yes.
Yes.
Scream made me.
I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down cheesy tree.
Also, just imagine he's like, yeah, no, go, feel free to tell your friends about it. So, like, you tell Addis, like, can they put a ribbon on my finger?
That's literally what I was thinking. I was like, what would they do for, would they just give him a nice little bracelet?
Just give him a little bow on his pinky.
Dia already bought a little amethyst ring for him.
That's true. He does have a little amethyst ring. And you can see that Armella is off talking to some other people, talking very loudly. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. We actually just finished helping with the 11th hour. Oh, really? Is that who that was? Oh, yes. Nash. He defeated a water elemental, like, incredibly powerful man, and incredibly generous. And oh, Nash, you look positively glowing, sir.
Incredibly powerful man. Incredibly fashionable man, might I add.
Oh, and then the beads. What a lovely addition. I'm so glad you thought of it.
He just gives a little bow and then kind of not like a full-on twirl or anything, but like shows off the
goods.
Yeah, you show off the goods in like a macho masculine way.
My macho masculine twirl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Armella once again gives a little bow.
Right. Well, it's been good. Thank you. You did very good job.
Oh! Thank you so much for that. Oh, thank you so much.
He rolls his eye.
Like, all right, bye.
I really
like
thought
it's genuine. Like it is a genuine good job. I'm not gonna lie about it, but you gotta be like this.
I genuinely thought the way that first sentence was gonna go was, okay, well, it's been real.
Yeah.
Peace out, Octavia.
Fades, disappears.
He ollies out.
She again takes a bow and waves to you. Never be a stranger, Nash. Always happy to help you. And ensuring everything goes as smooth as silk.
It does like a little gun line. Nice one.
Oh, that's like the name of the shop!
Yeah, no, you hear a couple people. Oh my god! And Armella, yes, I came up with that! Yup! Me!
Leaving. Not gonna be here for a bitch fit, leaving. No, that was great. That was a great, weird idea. Thank you.
Of course, no, and like absolutely, like if anyone has any more ideas, I mean, there's also the possibility that it might be a regroup time.
I think it's a regroup time.
Because like Nash has new Delio outfit. Dia's kind of done some self-reflecting. Redpath has kind of gotten the whole holy side of the city squared away, as well as kind of solidifying the trade routes and whatnot. And May's made a crazy discovery.
Yeah. I did want to go and talk to Amrath,
yeah.
but we could regroup while going to do that. That doesn't seem unreasonable.
Yeah, here. Oh, you know what? Let's put you guys on the docks. Because if you're going to Amaranth, I will drag and drop you guys. Yeah, you see them.
I've seen these characters before.
The women.
The women. I've heard of them before. Have you heard of the women? No, I suppose not.
They exist on the beautiful blue seas.
Have you been to the women district?
Whatever
No.
direction we go, it can't be south. We don't want to pay this guy another $100 to fuck off.
Don't look at Asher. Don't look at him.
I can move him.
We lost Rosa.
Oh yeah. Let me grab Rosa. Sorry, I'm moving Asher out of the ways.
I'm moving boxes.
I don't get to bring my albino. Why should you get to bring yours?
Because we're going to talk to her fucking sister.
Rosa, there you are. Yeah, I think she's in casual attire. Fuck it. And then, Garen, you get your albino too.
I don't know if Garen needs to come, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to come. This is a strictly getting involved with things trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No,
I think...
he ain't coming.
No.
Yeah, I think he gets this far and he's like, so, oh, Rosa, fancy seeing you. Hi, wow, how's everything been? Pretty good, I suppose.
Wait, have you two not met since have you never spoken while you've both been in Leviara?
No, the last time we spoke was when Conrad exploded. Yes, that was, yeah,
okay.
Which,
you would have been a witness to that horrible fate.
yeah, crazy. I can't believe he's dead. He's very dead.
What?
So...
What?
Yeah. Oh, that's right! Oh my God! You know?
Maze spins on his heel. You're never gonna fucking believe this. Conrad Rivaldi exploded while dynamite fishing.
What?
You mean like he lit the fuse or it exploded him? What?
I mean, I've only heard the story secondhand, but I believe what likely occurred was he held aloft a stick of dynamite and said, "I'm going dynamite fishing," and then, tragically, dropped it or something, then blew up all of the dynamite.
You're a fucking idiot.
Garen snaps and points at you. Yep, that was my quote, actually. That was my testimonial for the event. Very casually.
Impressive.
Puts a hand on his arm. Good job. That sounds fucking stupid. What?
I know, what a blunder.
I can't believe.
I can't. Yeah, it's
Yep, it's pretty crazy. I'm just gonna make sure you can't see my eyes.
like yeah. I got the report from Garen. It was one of the first things that we had talked about in a long time. And then we just kind of didn't bump into each other again because I've been busy getting ready for looks at the civilians nearby, the thing that's been going on and whatnot. And Garen looks over. I've been fishing.
I can't believe one of the fishing buddies exploded.
Yeah, were you fishing? You weren't fishing with him, right? I mean, you didn't explode for one, but were you
I'm
like in the
sorry.
boat right next to him?
I'm sorry, I just imagined it like a fucking cop funeral where all the boats go in like a little line around the harbor.
Garen shakes his head. No, while I would have survived the incident, I was not near the explosion.
No. While I would have survived the incident, to be clear, unlike his old bitch ass.
Yes, it's a shame he was blown to chunks. There will be nothing to bury.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, Garen, what are you doing here specifically? Right. Well, I wanted to accompany Redpath this far.
Oh my god, I should have given you the list. Oh my god, thank god I forgot. Here, okay, so...
Thank God you forgot.
Is it a long day, please?
Come on, man, be cool.
It's not too much stuff. You said you got a salmon, right? Is that it?
That is one of many things I have procured, yes. And if you would allow me, I could go to my secret location and get more.
Will that be fun for you?
It is always fun for me.
Treat yourself. Go do that. Yeah.
Very well, then. I will surprise you with what I have procured. And no.
He kind of looks back at everyone else. I don't know what the fuck that means.
And listen, despite our current relationship status, you may not know the location as well. I'm very sorry. It's important to me.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Good. We understand each other.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I'm off.
Have fun.
I will. You too. Goodbye.
I know he said
want
it that
to
way.
follow him so bad.
Don't you dare.
What is he talking about?
I know he said it in that really gruff, aggressive way, but there's something very wholesome about him telling us to have fun too.
Maze glances over at Rosa. So, what was the most surprising thing he said to you?
I'm sorry. I'm still processing what just happened.
I know, there was a lot to get into there.
Garen has changed a lot since, the keep.
He doesn't have a lot of appearances to keep up anymore.
No, I guess not. Speaking of appearances to keep up. So takes her shades off. Because I assume they already know and all that.
I would imagine they would assume as much.
Yeah.
Unless,
Wow.
of course, you guys are really broken up that Conrad blew himself up with dynamite.
I mean, he
Oh my
pretty
god,
much
that's what he picked.
pretty much told us he was gonna. I thought maybe he was joking.
I thought it was a fucking joke.
But I mean, I guess I don't know what the hell I was thinking that. I don't think he's ever told a joke in his life.
Yeah.
So no, I guess he just wow. Can I say? It almost beggars belief that he's managed to do this like 80 times and no one's caught on.
Do you think this is always what he picks? I didn't ask about that.
How do you think Bronco Sullivan went out? Do you think he died in a tragic horse filled with dynamite explosion?
That would be sad.
If you would like, Maze, you can retroactively have asked your mom, because you were there for a while.
I was there for a while. Yeah, no, sure. Retroactively, what other stunts has he pulled?
So, from like the very early lives on, you notice that as Victoria explained, they progressively got more batshit, and you think you think the reason, and what her theory is that he has to have them all die differently so he can separate them mentally.
Yeah.
So, like, the first one is like, oh, it was a terrible disease, died in his sleep. No, you can't see the body. To, like, Bjornulf Torsten, who was like, okay, there's a big battle. I'm gonna go in there, fight as hard as I can, kill as many as possible, and then I'm gonna order a, like, catapult to land here so it looks like I was caught in the crossfire and died a hero. And then like Raphael Sorel died of just like he had a drunk stupor and fell off a tower. Just crazy shit for all of these.
So he used up all of the normie ones.
He's been alive for 400 years.
Yeah, he used up all of the normie deaths already.
And he doesn't have the luxury of being an elf, so sticking around for a while, because he already looks like an older guy. So he's like, all right, fuck it, piranhas, I guess.
You could have done piranhas again here. It's so common.
No, he can't do piranhas again.
Barracuda, come on.
I will say, Sullivan Fitzgerald, the Bronco, his death was not as crazy, but he was in a cage match and he hit the other guy so hard it killed them. But he was like, wait, I'm done with this life. I'm already the grand champion. And he pretended to fall back and break his neck and then have people drag him off stage.
Just an insane person.
Yeah. You get the feeling Sullivan the Bronco Fitzgerald was the craziest personality, and he wanted to get rid of that one as quick as possible.
I think the craziest personality is the one that's running the show.
Hey, what do you want from me? Listen, there's a writer's strike. What do you want? No, the writer's strike is good. Support them.
Yes, absolutely. Otherwise, all you'd get is this.
Oh no! Every Sunday at 3 EST on Surprise Round RPG. We really
Have you
appreciate
noticed that Ebon Ward's quality of storytelling has dropped dramatically since we had to fire the writing staff?
Man, oh, if only we could be like Critical Role.
If only we could. Yeah, if those guys are on strike, can we get them? Can they scab for us?
No, they're on a writer's strike. Don't you know? It's all scripted.
Anyway.
It's all improv. Anyway, so Rosa kind of shakes her head. It's so strange to see Garen like that. I mean, also without his helmet in public. Honestly, it's really nice.
Yeah.
You know, because for a long, long time, you know, he was just always in his helmet. He was very serious. Now he's... I don't want to use the word goofy, but I don't know.
As someone who doesn't know him that well, admittedly, it feels like he's gone from having no discernible sense of humor to having a profoundly weird one, which frankly is the best kind to have.
But I don't think he realizes it.
No, absolutely not.
No, I think he's kind of just a card who does things with confidence and doesn't seem to register that they're a bit odd.
Yeah, she looks back the way he went, and you notice a very soft smile. I'm glad. He deserves it.
Redpath has a very big smile.
Now, whether he knows it or not, he's probably having more fun.
Well, why don't we have so much fun at the Hairsif Estate, probably talking about, looks around and leans in, possible war.
Oh, that'll be a ringer.
Yep, be an absolute riot.
Okay, wait, before the rough stuff, look at what Scream got.
Oh, this old thing. Yeah,
He's
Rosa,
showing off the thing he got.
Rosa looks over. Oh, that's so beautiful. Where did you have that done? Oh, haven't you heard? There's this little place called Smooth as Silk. And Nash showed it to me. It is a divine little location. You wouldn't believe it. Armella Dulane.
He shakes his head a little slightly at Nash showed it to me, but doesn't talk for
And maybe you're familiar. Armella Dulane. I know she's been through the ringer right now. But she personally handled it for us. And I was positively gobsmacked. I was like, really? You would handle this for me? And she said, free of charge. It was amazing. All because of Nash. Just like...
It looks lovely, Scream.
Oh, thank you so much.
3. That's a little surprise. Oh,
Well,
okay, never mind.
Octavia in charge now. Octavia
yeah,
said
that
any
makes
of
more
us get
sense.
free things.
I was squinting at what the fine print was, if that had come from Armella. Although I guess she probably made her money back in just shouting to everyone around about how you were shopping there, didn't she?
She was still shouting when I was leaving the building.
Uh-huh.
That certainly sounds like her. Good for Octavia,
Honestly,
though.
yeah, I'm kind of glad she's back to her old self after being a sad sack. Justifiably, don't get me wrong, but It was a little it was strange seeing her in the bad way that she was.
Well, she was mostly same, but nicer to Octavia.
Good. She should be.
Yeah, Asher does not move.
I'm not moving unless you pay me.
I'll also say, as you were walking away, Maze, it wasn't long before Rosa actually came up and grabbed your hand and very gently squeezed it and just walked with you.
Aww.
Yeah. As you're also going, Scream gets quiet for a bit. So, Dia, I didn't hear what your thoughts were. I mean, it's not a big deal.
I have the funniest sentient sword on earth. No indie character has had a
she's so
funnier
needy.
sentient
She's
sword.
fishing for compliments.
She's just my excuse to have Armella anywhere,
Yeah.
but she's nice.
Yeah.
She has separation anxiety.
The perfect sentient sword.
She's a catch, Nash.
Redpath, you jumped onto the ship and you noticed Art again, like, huh? Yeah, he was on my boat. Hey, Red, how's it going?
Is he high?
He was sleeping.
Oh.
Yeah, he wasn't snorting coke,
night?
Aram.
Huh? Oh yeah, I had a good night too. Anyways, what's going on? What are y'all doing? Oh, Miss Hersif does a little salute. Oh, come on, not for me. Just relax. Art again looks back. So, what's going on? What you doing here?
You're here to drive us to a meeting about possible dire circumstances.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he's here for? I thought maybe he was here for a different reason and we were getting a ride for that reason.
That's his job.
It is my job. Yeah, very technically. But, you know, I got one of 3 places I go. Hersif Estate, Horde of House Hersif, or here. So, I need to know, because there's a coin flip for a couple of those, depending on where I am.
Wow,
I mean, you-
three-sided coin.
You went to the Adaptodal Cave once.
Yeah, and that was awful. I never want to do that again. So, you get those 3 locations. He puts 3 fingers up.
Unforgettable memories.
Yes, unforgettable.
Has my dad been to talk to you yet?
Oh, yeah. He did pop on by. Yeah, he wanted to know about, you know, medicine.
You
and
weren't
all
paying
that.
attention.
Like, I am so hungover, Red. You gotta bear with me here.
Does anybody else know how to drive a boat? I gotta fix this for you.
I'm not drunk. I'm hungover.
No, I know,
They're
but
different.
come on, seriously. Seriously, anybody?
I got here, didn't I?
How long did that take you?
Shut up.
Nuh-uh. Somebody take this wheel. I gotta get him some, like, tea or something.
Nash, you know how to work boats, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Nash, do you know how to use boats? Of course Nash knows!
Let's find out. Rolls a 20. Yes.
Nash.
More like
isn't
I know how they would be built. Never try drive it, so I don't
I'll
want to
try.
mess this up.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you 2 work together? I'm sure if we have 2 people that don't know, it'll go great.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great.
All right. You get that
I'm telling the
side
port master!
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The postmaster will be like, oh, I trust Nash with anything, honey.
Really?
In fact, buy Nash a boat.
You're telling me Nash was driving? He's so talented. I
In
need
that
you to know that I
scooter,
was
isn't
fanning
he?
myself with my hand while saying that.
Oh, I heard it.
Of course.
And you know that Scooter's like, I know, he is the most impressive person alive.
All right, now here's the
Love
joke.
Nash.
Do I cast a 4th level spell on him or several like 1st and 2nd level spells?
4th level,
who?
fuck it.
On
For
Artie.
Artie, bring out the 4th level.
Are you gonna
Poor
blast
guy.
a fucking restoration on him just to get rid of a hangover?
No, I'm gonna blast him with Purify Body.
Whoa.
I cast harm. Yeah, what does
Okay.
Purify Body do?
A lot. If I need spells later today, I'm siphoning this health out of him like a fucking mosquito and pretending it didn't happen. Yeah, so it gets rid of like pain, weakness, and stupid shit, but it also heals 3d8 plus 11.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty damn good. If you're
And they
healing
get
recovery,
10
Red Path's not
candles.
trying.
Damn.
you half the excess as temporary hit points for an hour.
That'll perk him up a little.
It removes nauseated and sickened as conditions, which I would count as hangover
Yes.
conditions.
Okay, so he was at full health before anyways.
He gets 10
So-
hit points. Let's go.
So he's like leaning on the railing, and then like beams of light shoot out of his eyes. It's like, ah! And he's like, oh, I feel amazing. Why am I not driving right now?
No, it's too late.
Because
you
you're
gave
gonna
us the
sit
wheel.
here and
All
you're
right,
gonna
Nat.
listen to what my father tried to tell you, and I'm going to re-explain it to you.
Oh, Jesus. All right, he jumps over the railing down to
Oh my
you.
god.
What, was that too cool for you?
Sorry. Too busy. Thinking about important things.
All right.
And
well,
he will sit down and explain to Artie what was requested of him.
Absolutely. So Nash and Dia.
Yeah,
What do we roll for this?
I think we're. I think
This
Nash
is
and
ride.
are like Crash Panda.
Oh my
in
god, this is ride. I have anything that isn't a negative number in this.
Let's fucking go.
Wow. Yeah. No. I mean, I get my dex at least. Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
We're kind of
Yeah.
amazing.
Like, it's a little weird because there's two people at the helm, but like, it's smooth sailing. You didn't need Artigan.
You
Fuck,
figure
can
it
fire
out.
him.
Yeah, fuck
All right, you're healed. Now swim home.
Yeah. No, it goes perfectly. There's just no struggle at all. Let me get
Okay.
some-
Now, when we get to like the last approach, when we got enough distance left that we're not gonna run aground or anything, then I say we both pull as hard as we can, see who can tug of war it, and we spin the wheel really fast.
Don't you fucking Akira slide this boat.
Give me a strength check. Yeah, y'all fighting one another.
Are we doing that? Are we doing this, Dia?
I want to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
fuck up Oleander's boat.
Okay, Dia can convince Nash to do stupid things.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Trust me, I've done the math. We got enough distance left. It'll be fine. Even if we
there we go.
completely cock it up, it'll be fine.
I figured that just to save time, I'm gonna
Yeah,
put you back
yeah.
up here.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
ping.
Don't worry about it. We get here. It's fine.
Yeah. So, So you guys don't do the. Oh, here we go. Oh!
Equilibrium!
We're in
Oh, no.
perfect harmony.
You don't crash the boat for no reason.
You guys, like, whether it was on purpose or begrudgingly, you agree that crashing would be a poor decision. Rosa is thankful because these boats aren't cheap. They're like handcrafted and designed for the Harrison family. And you gently plop down.
Dia and Nash are the most drift compatible in the party.
Weirdly, yeah. You guys make your way up the stairs, and you see Brutus is on duty. And he gives a little salute. Oh, welcome everyone to the Harrison estate. What can we do for you?
Hey,
Hello.
we're looking to talk with Amaranth. Is she in?
Oh, yes, she is actually. She's in her new office, as it were. So, if you'd be so kind as to join me. And he just pushes and holds the doors open for you guys.
If I do.
Yeah. Harrison pops on by. Art again looks back at you, Redpath. Well, it sounds like important stuff, so I'm gonna leave it to you guys. I'm gonna go see what Tabby's up to.
Oh yeah. Take it easy, man.
I have been, trust me.
Sup,
Brutus?
Bernice?
I am
Ember-
Bernice.
And Bernice spins around. Oh, hey guys! And she goes to salute, and like her hand kind of bumps the ceiling. Oh shit! Sorry.
Goes to salute, annihilates a chandelier.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. Rosa steps on in. Oh, Miss Harrison, hi, welcome. Salutes again. Oh, shit, sorry. Welcome to the Harrison estate. I don't need to do formalities.
You don't need to introduce yourself. It's
Sorry.
cool.
Yeah.
We're here to talk to Amaranth.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ami's been like busy a lot
Yeah.
recently, but I know she'd make time for you guys. Sorry. And she like scoots to the side and holds the door open. She's like, oh, wait, I'm sorry, Ami. I forgot to knock again. Ember knees, the door slams. Knocks. Ami, you've guessed. 11th hour and your sister. They can come in, Ember knees. Okay, yeah, you got the okay. And holds the door open again.
Thank goodness.
Right, here. Rosa pops on in and steps in. Hi, Ami. It's me, and I am with Dia, Maze, Nash, and Redpath. And Rosa comes down and hugs Amaranth from the side, and Ami reaches out and pats her. Oh, so good to have you here. Here, I'm sorry. And you see in front of Amaranth are just dozens of papers and various documents and books and things of the sort. And Amber needs his head pokes in. Is there anything you guys need? Like drinks?
Maybe
Stuff?
a second, third, just one chair, please.
What? Oh, yeah, on it. Slams the door a little too hard, and you see
Oh my
Amaranth like kind of jump down.
Oh my god.
So, Embernice has decided, ever since the incident regarding my father, that she would play personal bodyguard. She has been adamant about these things.
I was wondering, she seemed a little bit, maybe not on edge, but she looks like she is still feeling her way through some of these new duties.
Yes. Amaranth pinches the bridge of her nose. Don't get me wrong, I really appreciate the amount of support I get from all of my workers. Embernice has been bizarrely clingy, though, and I appreciate it, but I have so much paperwork to do, and the loud noises and the hooting and the hollering, it's getting to me a little bit. So, but I don't want to talk her down because, whatever, these are me problems. They're not important. I'm sorry. What can I do for you? And she forces a smile, but you can see she's so tired.
Well, they are important, but you're right. They do sort of pale in comparison to what we do want to talk about. Well, we're back from the Wandering Woods, as you can say, and we hear in the intermittent time things didn't go amazing vis-a-vis the Keepers.
Yes, that's the newest development. We have plenty of scouts out and about trying to survey the various routes. They're still a bit of a ways out, but I'm not really sure what we want to do quite yet. I mean, obviously we're going to need to meet with whoever's leading this platoon. I imagine it is indeed, based on the reports, Conqueror Payne. What a cute little title she's earned. So we'll get it all squared away, I guess. Obviously, shouldn't need to be said, but I'll make it clear here anyways. Leviara has the full support of the Hersif family and the Horde of House Hersif when it comes to economical support, military might, whatever it might be.
Well, that was assumed, but it's good to hear it.
You, once again, hear the door open. Ami, oh shit, sorry, close this door again. Ami, I got the chair you requested. Thank you, Embernice. And she very gently sets it down. Okay, if I'll be right outside. If like anything happens, like, okay, cool. And she closes the door.
That chair better get used. We better not have done that for nothing.
I would really appreciate that.
Knocks on the door. Bobby, I accidentally put it on the object layer!
He just takes it and very gently puts it right here instead.
Yeah, I'll move that over.
Red Rep just sits in it right there on the spot.
Rosa spins around and is like, well, it feels rude to just be blocking.
No, it's fine. I'm not looking anyway. I'm just listening.
He's looking out the window past Dia.
And Amaranth kind of turns over, and you're not blocking my view, so you're fine. In any case, right. Sorry, I'm so scatterbrained.
No, it's reasonable. So I imagine we're going to, well, I say we, it's not specifically directly our problem. I imagine that we're going to speak with Payne on decent terms, or not decent terms, but civil terms. I can't imagine we're going to go into this swinging.
Amaranth nods. I completely agree. I know it's foolish, but I would like to go in as diplomatic and peaceful as possible because, let's be real, the Keepers have nothing to wager against us. They really don't. Not only that, in a tactical sense, they are at a massive disadvantage. Like, there's really only from land one way into Leviara. And so it will funnel their forces. We have some of the most powerful arcane casters here. We also have the bargaining chip that is Lucine Delta.
Well, they have a bargaining chip of their own.
Amaranth tilts her head. That's surprising. What would that be?
The dumbest sack of bricks I've ever met.
I apologize. That does not narrow it down for me.
Leon Lionheart. Quite the character, that.
Mr. Lionheart, Judge Lionheart, if I'm not mistaken.
Not
Curious. Oh, yes. Though, I don't know how powerful of a bargaining chip that would be. I understand from Pride may have somewhat conflicted feelings. Regal, however, Rosa looks.
The Lionhearts are an established family amongst the nobles here. Don't
They
you
are.
think that would be some sort of unease? Especially ones as wealthy as them? For them to just show up and be treated like cannon fodder?
Rosa
That
turns.
doesn't instill a lot of confidence.
Rosa turns to Amaranth. I have to agree with Redpath. I realize there's a lot of conflicted feelings with the Lionhearts, but they are still one of the big families here in Leviara. And to turn our backs on them, especially one of the biggest financiers of our city, I don't know. I don't think that's a good decision. Amaranth kind of taps her. You see once again that little shot glass device that lets her hear words on paper, and she's just kind of tapping it on the table a couple of times. You're right. I'm getting a little calculated and cold about this. That's not fair. All right, well, fine. Then. But I don't feel like an exchange between Judge Lionheart and Lucine Delta is a fair one, considering the crimes that were committed. Not to mention, based on the little bits you have told me about Leon Lionheart, we would just arrest him immediately anyways, it seems.
Yeah, it's a raw deal, no matter how you cut it.
Is there anything?
Ask a blunt question?
Please do.
Because I'm kind of sitting on the arm of the couch here and looking out the window. Who is in charge of Leviara right now?
Amaranth kind of leans on the table and kind of steeples her hands together. Very technically, and this has been the case, is Madame Deletta Delato. On the positive side, there have been some changes ever since the unforeseen incident regarding Conrad Rivaldi, that Pride Lionheart is now the Lawmaster, which I am far more ecstatic for, especially considering the knowledge that we have of his history. Rosa, oh, the whole vampire thing? Amaranth turns. Where did you... Looks to, like...
Looks around furiously. Who? Where?
Yeah, well, luckily, you have a lower body temperature, and you're both sitting next to each other, so she is able to turn and guesstimate that it would be you. I assume that you informed her? And Rosa, oh my god, you never told me? It was not my place. It was not my decision. I thought it was for the betterment of Leviara. This is not about that. In any case, so Pride is now the Lawmaster, which is hugely beneficial. And
brush past it so fast, doesn't even wait for Mace to chip in.
Amaranth is like, nope, Nope, not gonna let this hole dig. Nope.
Bailing.
Bail. And I am currently, maybe not the headmaster of the academy, but I play a much larger role there as we solidify a lot of moving chairs, and we are actually in the process of reinstating Headmaster Doopsy.
And those are all good people that you just named. My concern is that you just named 4 people. The keepers definitely answer to exactly 1. And this kind of ties in with the point that Redpath was making, but I think the biggest thing you have to worry about is any kind of strategy that seeks to divide factions of Leviara against one another. Because...
Precise. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think you're entirely correct, and that is one of the other stressors that I've been having recently, is who do we have lead this conversation? Because, politely, I don't think Madame Delato is capable of handling that conversation. She is a marvelous woman, and I could not be happier to have her in charge of Leviara, but she is too soft. She will not be able to maintain presence in that conversation with someone like Pain. It is not possible for her.
So who's got bigger balls than Pain?
Rosa turns to Amaranth. I mean, I suppose, certainly, I don't really care for the woman, based on her policies and beliefs. But again, I am concerned that me walking in and essentially going, hello, I'm a teacher, is not exactly a valid position of power. Yes, I am
You're in
indeed...
charge of the wealth of more than half the city.
I was getting to that. You are correct. She smiles. I am indeed also the newest head of the House Hersif family. And the Horde of House Hersif. And I do very technically have the most military might in the city currently. However, I am still concerned that would not be respected authority. Pride would be the next closest option for me, but again, with this new Leon information, I'm concerned...
Yes. Might have too much skin in the game, yeah.
Exactly. So, and I'm not having Doopsy do it.
Right, of course, everyone nods like, yeah, no, of course,
yeah.
That guy's a loose cannon, he couldn't do it.
Cannot be trusted.
Doopsy would just try and blow her head off, like, fuck you! Exactly like that.
Oh, looks like you've got a good head on your shoulders. Lightning bolt!
Doesn't even cast Explode Head.
Though, I suppose I could lead that conversation.
Well, if your concern is a matter of officiality, there's not really anything stopping you from creating a position that need be filled for specifically doing peace talks in situations like this.
Rosa nods. That's actually not a terrible idea. It might be a little strange to develop a whole new position days
Official
before a meeting.
negotiator, maybe?
Yeah.
I think you could even just for this one time, if you get the people you just described together and announce, we've decided this person is going to be the sole person handling the negotiations so that we're not tripping over each other in the middle of an important discussion. Yeah, as long as you pick the right person, that seems like the best idea to me.
Rosa turns back. I think you might be one of our best options. I mean, Rosa looks around the room. Am I crazy? Like...
I don't think you're crazy. Just going off of personality and the fact that Leon is in the mix. No, I probably would have picked Amaranth myself.
The only alternative I would suggest would be the one of our lot, but we don't have enough skin in the game, so it would be wildly inappropriate,
yeah, I don't
frankly.
feel like any of us really has enough of a stake in the city to be trusted reasonably by its citizens to put its well-being first. And that seems to me to be the most important thing. As long as everyone has confidence that the person is going to make the best decisions they can. Probably not everyone's going to agree with what decisions get made, but if they can they can accept that they were done in good faith, then hopefully, no one's gonna, I don't know, do something crazy like instigate acts of terrorism to try to overturn a popular decision.
Yes. Again, like I said before, we are in a far more advantageous position. However, we are dealing with individuals that apparently thought that was an acceptable course of action to sway votes. Worse, it almost worked. All right. I suppose I can lead this. However, we need to be very careful in who we decide to bring to this table meeting. We can't have too many, but I also want some extra protection. While I am able to defend myself, I'm just going to be candid. It's a little difficult for me to read people's faces or understand if they're trying to pull something on me. So I need people present to assist me if, God forbid, they try something.
That seems very reasonable.
You hear the door creak just a little. I mean, I could help. A little. Embernice? Yeah? What did I tell you about listening? Sorry, Ami. I just wanted to help. Sorry. You're fine, Embernice. You're fine. I'm sorry. Thank you. I will keep that in consideration. But again, like I had said, and you heard, I don't want too many people in there.
Embernice, too big. She too many people all by self.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, I would put Pride in for consideration, but again, he might be a little too close to the situation, and having him physically there might influence things too much.
But his lack of presence is also concerning. Why on earth would we not include the Lawmaster in such an important discussion?
I think you should have him there. But his
Amaranth
only
nods.
job will be to act if, anything gets out of hand.
Amaranth nods. Yes, I think that's the best course of action. So what
Man's a capable fighter, I'm told, yes?
Highly.
You've seen him in action,
Yeah,
actually.
he held
As
his
Red
own at
Path?
the university.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
At
he
the
did, yes.
university.
We were
Yeah.
at
Yes,
the-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw him. He was quick on the draw.
Mhm.
He-
2 eyeballs.
Mm.
Yeah. Amaranth nods. So I'm feeling that the Leviara side of the table will be myself, Lawmaster Lionheart, and I'm Portmaster Delato. But I need at least one other person there that can be a form of security. And I don't know what your feelings are on this. Steeples her hands again. I think I need a couple of you just spread around the city just in case. I mean, we've already seen the shenanigans they've tried. Shenanigans to describe the murderous behavior. My apologies. What a dreadful way to describe that.
Honestly, it was reprehensible and murderous, as you said. The exact nature of how things were carried out and the physical acts performed to undertake them, I feel do still qualify as shenanigans.
No
It was
small
very
amount of-
elaborate, almost to the point of being silly.
No
Like, there's
small
a
amount of
reason we were-
chicanery now.
There's a reason we were calling them the invisible gymnast.
Right.
The reason we were doing that was because we couldn't think of a second name because that was the first one that came up.
Sure.
Anyway,
Right.
I've no qualms about being present there, and I have no prior relations to Miss Conqueror, as she is now.
Yeah, I want to say everyone in this room, well, not Redpath. She's definitely knows Redpath by face and name. Theoretically, Nash and I shouldn't be recognizable to her, but
I
maybe
should
Like-
be dead to her, by the way, so keep my name out of your
that's a
mouth.
fair point, yeah.
Amaranth kind of tilts her head. Duly noted. I didn't plan on naming you individually, but now more so than ever. Though I will need to bring up the 11th. I'm so sorry, Nash, yes?
Oh, it okay. Just my voice and sword probably give me away.
I hadn't
Amaranth
considered
nods.
that.
Pretty distinct.
Yeah, if we're gonna have any single person just being there at the discussion, Maze is undeniably the safest choice. Well, at least if you look past the fact that there will probably be boatloads of paladins hanging around with holy magic crackling at their fingertips.
That
Oh.
Oh,
wouldn't
have a
be
way around
great, but
I don't think you need to tell us to patrol the city. I was already going to suggest, yeah, it's going to be a dangerous situation.
If possible, I would prefer you to be in pairs. I don't want anyone being caught off guard by themselves.
Yeah, we've certainly had enough of that lately.
I'll
If
go
may-
with Rosa.
Rosa turns around. Oh, certainly. I'm more than fine with that.
I'm actually there might be a place for you at the meeting, Rosa, considering how you were a keeper after all.
Amaranth nods. That's not a terrible idea. I'm concerned that the table might get a little crowded, and also considering how things have, well, panned out between you and the keepers. Rosa frowns a bit. Yes, we did not leave on exactly excellent terms. I worry. I genuinely worry if I'm present, Pain will not respect the negotiations.
That's not unreasonable. Just an
So-
angle worth considering.
Not to mention, they know what I'm capable of. They know that if I so choose, I can use detect thoughts. They would not want me present in that conversation. Amaranth nods. That's exactly why I would want you there, quite frankly. So yes, that would be problematic. So
Could
yes,
they reasonably turn you away? Like, what are they gonna say? We don't want you there detecting thoughts in case we want to lie. Just saying is all.
Amaranth nods. You're not wrong. And Rosa turns. However, I almost worry that Pain would look at that and go, "Okay, war it is," and then would just leave the room.
Yeah.
We are dealing with a woman who is a short fuse, but I don't think she's against the idea of communication. As insane as that sounds.
What
But
does a win look like here, to be honest? I mean, obviously Leviara not getting invaded by an army of keepers, but are we expecting there's going to be any room for negotiation with Pain beyond here's a list of demands, submit to all of them or be destroyed? It's hard for me to imagine someone of her temperament budging from that.
We're trying to approach this with a certain amount of optimism. As, direct as Pain may be, I think even she could recognize that this is not a good fight to pick.
Rosa nods. I don't know who my replacement is, but I can assure you, whoever did fill my position, after they learned what had happened here, I'm sure they looked at that and went, what a fucking PR nightmare, because it is. So I feel like they would have expressed that to Conqueror Pain and made it clear that, while yes, there's a very real possibility they will just invade anyways, they need to play massive damage control. And if I had to guess, I would wager they made it clear to Judge Pain, or Conqueror Pain, that if they do make an attack, one of the big points of this conversation is to find a justification. Which, again, is insane, but that's where we're at now. Amaranth turns. To me, a victory is the Keepers leave and continue to, respect is maybe the wrong word, but acknowledge that we are no longer a part of the coalition. But perhaps we can renegotiate some trading terms, because at this point, we have entirely cut off Errol, which is a massive blow to the rest of the coalition, and has made most of those other cities incredibly furious. So, they need to play ball to some extent. Essentially, a win is we find a medium ground where they go away. That's the best we've got. Because they also need to understand, if they conquer us, they have no one with the knowledge to get this city up and running again. Like, genuinely think about that. If they did come in guns blazing and start wrecking shop, they would lose all the people who understand who is making deals with who, where everything is going, what part of the country things are being, like, shipped to. All of that, gone in an instant. You think that their keepers are going to be able to dig through that much paperwork and that much bureaucracy in a timely manner before all of the docks get too filled with ships with new incoming goods? No, impossible.
Yeah, and that makes perfect logical sense. My concern, as always, with Pain in particular, is that she may not be able to deal with having her authority undermined in any aspect and just damn the consequences and go ahead at the slightest provocation.
I mean, that's always a risk, but all we can really do to play around that is try not to give her a reason, like an actual reason, to just give up on the negotiations.
Rosa looks up. Actually, there is a way that she could spin that to her advantage. Anchors Up has wanted to be a part of the coalition for some time, but they just don't have the same number of imported goods, and not to mention, because they're farther north on the coast, it's harder to bring all of those materials in a timely manner to the center part of Goliath. If they did come in and just decimate everything, they wouldn't need to make Anchors Up a part of the coalition. They would just need to move all the people with the knowledge of how these imports work to Leviara. It would still take a long time to set it all up, but at least you'd have a group that was ecstatic for the opportunity and the knowledge. Amaranth frowns. That is unfortunate and rather shitty, but true. Okay.
Yeah, there's unfortunately not a whole lot of great plays that we can do here. We just sort of have to talk with her and see how it shakes out.
Rosa nods.
So you want Maze... Go ahead.
Do we have any one-ups on her in terms of her weaknesses?
No, all we have are facts about her organization, and those don't seem to bother her.
I mean, we know a little more than many people. I wouldn't necessarily call it weaknesses, but secrets, you could say. Whether there's any way to leverage them, don't know.
Yeah. Rosa speaks up. The advantages that Leviara has over the Keepers is, well, arcane. We have far more arcane power here than the Keepers have ever had. To be fair, the Keepers do have divination on their side, but thanks to a ragtag bunch of individuals who really messed things up at the Keep, they no longer have purifiers, which was a massive blow to the military might. And I'm sure Payne's actually kicking herself for reacting the way that she did. That being said, in that time frame that I've been gone, I know that there have been more projects in development, more tools of the trade, and worse, far more people getting hired. So the things that we have to be mindful of is the Keepers have numbers. And far worse than that, dedication. They have people that are more than willing to die for this madness. And I honestly, at this point, I don't know why.
Well, by and large, I think a lot of it's to do with the fact that they're just, walking corpses with no personalities left in them. But there are still some real individuals in there. Probably
You mean in a figurative sense, or in the more literal Sweetstone sense?
In the literal Sweetstone sense. I can't imagine that was unique to there, right? There have to be a lot of them kicking around.
Well, it really depends on how far the other lady's gotten.
If we're going to assume that Payne would humor the idea of just going into a gung-ho battle with a very distinct disadvantage in the combat scenario, I would have to hope that she has a lot of disposable troops. And they don't get much more disposable than that.
Yeah. Gets quiet as they think. Amaranth stands up from her desk. Right. So, what I am going to be doing is I'm going to the academy and I'm going to see how many spellcasters I can recruit. Just to be prepared. I am not forcing anyone, and I am not getting younger students. I'm talking teachers and individuals who are just finished with schooling in general. Because I don't need, politely, I don't need novices on a battlefield. I need capable, smart individuals who will not panic and understand how to use their powers in a way that will not harm more people.
You should consider asking Doopsy. We learned he has a mean magical right hook.
Yes, Doopsy was going to be one of the ones I spoke to, not to mention the fact that a lot of his magic is actually more, well, like for a better term, crowd control. If I'm not mistaken, he can also turn into a dinosaur, but I'll confirm that with him.
All after my own heart.
But possibly Enrique would help. I don't know. I'll ask around.
And you want Maze at the negotiating table and the rest of us keeping an eye on the city?
She turns over to Maze. I think that might be the best course of action. If not at the table, I would like you nearby in the room.
Mm-hmm.
That is the other thing. We need to solidify where we are having this negotiation.
Ideally somewhere that is resistant to outside influence.
One of the islands.
You could do one of the islands. I was thinking the Horde itself. Like, you've got to have a room down there.
The amount of restrictions you have there, if anything goes wrong, it's not like they can get out.
Rosa turns to Amaranth and kind of shrugs like, it's not the worst idea. Amaranth, her hands are on the table as she thinks. I am concerned Pain would not go along with traveling that far into a secluded location that only I have control over.
That would be a reasonable
smart.
concern.
Not if she's learned from past experiences.
Rosa perks up, actually considering as the reports have described it, the Gedem incident. She refuses to be alone in smaller rooms anymore.
Oh, we left a phobia.
I wouldn't describe it as...
Couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
Yeah. I don't know if I describe it strictly as a phobia, but there's definitely well, she learns from past mistakes.
Not everybody does that.
Yeah, Dia thinks about the fucking, I built a booby trap into my gauntlet just in case someone tried to do that a second time incident. In the city, yeah, the Horde's probably not realistic. I mean, you could ask, but I wouldn't expect her to agree. But in the city, I think would be reasonable. It is a city. It's where civilization is. It doesn't make a lot of sense for her to demand you come out into some war camp in the middle of nowhere half a mile down the road.
Amaranth shakes her head. Of course. I think our best course of action would be the Portmaster's office. Or, actually, what about the Academy?
Are there lecture halls big enough to host this sort of thing there?
Absolutely. Not to mention, it's more on, I wouldn't say the outskirts of Leviara, but it's not close. You're all very familiar with...
It's also a maze. She wouldn't know how to get out.
It's also a maze. He'd have a home field advantage.
Yeah.
Let's go! That's true. That place is it's not easily navigated.
Have they taken down the Well of Knowledge yet? That would be my one concern of having that just sitting right there next to unstable, dangerous, possibly hostile people.
That is unfortunately still a work in progress. I mean, the thing's been there for so long, and it's so potent with just raw arcane energy. It is exceedingly dangerous to move, or even just turn off.
Have the meeting in the secret headmaster's office and shove Pain into the abyss.
Don't steal my ideas!
I was thinking even just my own personal lecture hall. We could go back to
Why not the arena?
The arena? Yes.
The symbolism.
I mean, honestly, that might be one of the better courses of action.
However, knowing her, she might take that as a sign of inherent aggression.
It didn't go great last time we tried.
What are you talking about? It went amazing.
Rosa just leans back in her chair. I hate the idea that she might be encouraged by it.
Yes.
No, there's probably an inoffensive room that we could use in there.
I like your lecture hall. That's a good pre-made.
Yes, it is a good pre-made. Not by Gabriel Pickard, sadly, but still good stuff.
The Lionheart's fortunes are declining. Now all of Leviara will know the name of House Pickard.
Honestly, he's done enough for this city. She nods. All right. I guess my plan for today is I will return to the academy. I'm so sorry. What time is it? I actually don't even know.
Maze takes out the big dick clock.
Yeah, you pull out the big dick clock, and Rosa looks over and like mouths, "Where the fuck did you get that?"
From your father.
Oh, okay. You look at it, and also just outside, it's getting to like evening, like the sun is beginning to set.
It's around the evening, so.
Amaranth sits back down. All right, well, I'm not doing that today, I guess. Damn it. Early tomorrow morning, I will venture to the academy, and I will start getting things squared away for the arcane side of things. I will also... Do I set up security measures in my auditorium? I'm concerned that if they use any detect magic and find any of them, they'll call the whole thing off and call it aggression.
Yeah, no reason to give them a reason.
I will
Unless
merely...
they're just the normal security measures that are always present. If you could spin it as this is for everyone here's protection and
This is to keep the
deterrence,
students safe,
surveillance.
etc., etc.
She nods. Oh, I plan when that negotiation happens, that school will be cancelled. Besides...
Oh no, I mean, but never mind.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. She pinches the bridge of her nose again. I'm so sorry. Yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, it is for the children's security. Yes. Okay. I think we have a plan, or at least a very strong start to one. She stands up. Thank you so much for coming on by. I would be a horrendous host if I did not ask, would you like to stay for dinner? And gives a warm smile.
No, I'm actually having dinner somewhere else tonight.
Fair enough. The rest of you?
I've got nowhere better to be.
I think...
I think I would like Dia to come with me.
Oh?
There's a conversation that we need to have.
Oh. Okay.
I hate conversations.
It'll be a good dinner, I promise.
Oh, alright. Well, you know how to push my buttons. I think before we head out, I had a crazy idea involving a piece of your family's property that I wanted to run by you as, is this even possible? And second, would you allow such a thing? It's not, it's kind of a long shot, but I thought I'd pick your brain about it, Amaranth, if you have a little bit of time.
She kind of smiles and leans back in her chair. I am fascinated with what you might be talking about.
Well, it was something I was thinking we might talk about off-screen so that it would be a surprise for the viewers if it ends up happening.
I see.
And they
well,
won't be disappointed if it doesn't.
Fair enough. If that's the case, we'll talk a little later then.
Next episode, Dia walking to dinner, kicking a rock. Imran said no.
And actually, before anyone parts ways, there's a small thing I want to get settled real quick. Not with you, Amaranth, just with my colleagues here.
Politely, that's wonderful to hear.
I thought you might like it.
If anything, let me go find Tabby, and I'll start making sure everything's squared away for us. And she starts clicky-clacking with her cane. And even before she reaches the door is thrown open. Oh, right this way. Yes, Embernice. Embernice? Yes, ma'am. You're doing a wonderful job, but can you just tone it down just a little? Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Right this way. Like, guides her.
Yeah, okay.
Right this way.
Right this way still slams the door.
Yeah, and she closes it very quietly. And the two wander off.
Maze gives Dia back the Shadow Lantern. So, cool thing about that.
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't grab that under the pretense of investigating it. I just thought it would make for a decent prop with something that I wanted to ask about. But as it turns out, that thing can absorb souls, and we seem to be interested in that sort of thing. Also, as it turns out, it's probably been passively absorbing souls this entire time we've had it.
Up to 6. Rosa clarifies.
Yes,
Oh.
up to 6.
Fucked up if true.
Yeah.
Maybe it's finally time. Honestly, I've been almost like going through excuses to avoid really deeply studying this thing. But that's wow. And you just found out randomly. Sometimes serendipity happens, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I guess I just asked about it with the right crowd being involved. Yeah, though, it's quite the thing, and it'll definitely take some monkeying with to do anything we want it to, but, because, like, as it stands right now, the only way to move a soul into it would be to murder somebody, and,
Yes.
it doesn't seem to be the most applicable, given the circumstance.
Well, I'm nothing if not a monkey.
The other thing to consider is that you can tell it's remarkably damaged. However, we happen to know a very talented arcane engineer. She just walked out of the room.
Oh God, I thought you meant Tafflevere.
Oh God, no!
I would not let
him
no,
near
fuck, no,
this.
God, no!
No. Meanwhile, laying in a coffin, sitting vertically in his office, you just hear Tafflevere sneeze.
This bit's gonna be killer!
Oh man, when they show up again.
Oh boy. No, yeah, it'll probably help to bring that up to her, to at the very least get it back to working order before it was shunted into a wall or something. I probably would have been
How
a
quickly
little...
do you imagine we could do that?
I don't want to put anything extraneous on Amaranth's plate right now.
Yeah, that's my concern.
But-
She's... Because it would give her more to think about, but moreover, she just doesn't have time to work on it right now.
As soon as we're done saving the city again, we'll have a good. We will have both the time and a golden opportunity to ask her for that favor.
Oh God, yeah. Wow, she owes you so much.
Mhm.
I mean, we all do. I should clarify. And thank you. I guess, like, I know it should be said more often, but thank you.
We appreciate it. We get thanked enough for our work, though.
I just hope you're getting paid enough.
We weren't before.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I think back, we really quite weren't for a long time, but it turns out everyone in Leviara is fucking loaded.
Yeah, also, as it turns out, fucking Blackthorn Manor was loaded. Speaking of Tafflevere, I have to go talk with him real quick at some
Yeah, I
point.
gotta sell like 8+2 swords from statues or whatever.
I gotta unload some expensive
Why
junk
don't
on
we
him.
give those to the fucking military here and do some good in the world? man?
Because these are weapons of murder yourself. They are not gonna do us
Oh.
very good.
And
Give them
besides,
to the keepers.
and besides, I could get a belt that gives me +4 to Dex. So what do
Yeah.
you think about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck those guys.
Fuck
We're gonna
those
have-
guys.
Would you prefer to have 8 no-names be a little stronger, or for me to do a better backflip?
I actually can't even get a belt of Dex. It won't do me any good.
There's an opening for the position of invisible gymnast, and baby, that's gonna be me.
But yes,
It-
food for thought, and I wanted to get it out quickly because,
Yeah.
you know, God help us if we just put that lantern away and forget about it for the rest of time ago.
Well, are we thinking it might possibly be next time on Ebon Ward?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
This is next time on Ebon Ward.
Whoa.
Oh, there's that a little is like a joke that literally no one will understand.
You know, there might be someone out there who gets it.
And if they do, incredible.
If you know,
Yeah.
you know.
If you know, you know. I'd be genuinely shocked if they did know.
Ooh.
Well, I don't know, but what I do know is, hey, we have a Patreon. You can supporting us there if you haven't already.
It's from the Black Clover song. Yeah, it says typical novice.
Yeah!
Typical novice gets it.
Yo!
They are a person of culture.
I'm so
A+.
glad you solved that. We have a Patreon. You can supporting us there if you haven't already. Just a couple bucks a month gets you access to a bunch of tokens from all of our games, and all the money you give us there helps us fund all of the expensive baubles and doodads we like to put in these games that we run for you. Also, if you give us $5, you can get access to the episodes of Ebon South 1 week early. Wowie zowie. Also, we have a Discord. You should consider joining it if you haven't already. It's it's our community hub. It's where the weekly schedule gets posted, and it's where people put fan art. Speaking of, do we have some?
We do. We have an Imgur, courtesy of Bread Bunny. Thank you so much. Oh, Dia's already got that. I'll just post it there anyways, just in case.
Not Aram, Dia.
Yeah, Dia.
I'm so sorry. I'm so hungry. I'm getting like a cheeseburger after this. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I should probably get some.
I'm still hungry. I've got cheese in my head.
Thank you so much for the Imgur Bread Bunny. Really helps. Ebon Ward, episode 148. There's nothing inherently wrong with talking about how much a goon your widowed mother's husband was. He was a goon. He was an absolute goon.
Look at this fucking
love
guy.
that guy.
And he's gone. He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead forever. Sad.
Sleeping with the fishes.
So, from Sprite, we've got the Ebon Ward timeline.
This is so cool, and it's just interesting to see, like someone had pointed out earlier, where it's like, when all that crazy shit was happening at the, like, Castle Lancaster and whatnot, it was like, all right, girls, let's go stop some pirates!
Yep.
It's very interesting. Time doesn't make sense. Thank you, Sprite.
Time doesn't make sense.
Then from Kuriyuki, it's Conan Gary Gygax, or Gary Gygax Conan, either or.
There's really no way to make this a pun.
Thank you, Kuriyuki, for the both of these. Yeah, this is a pre-stream thing I talked about. Very nice.
Very funny, thank you.
Then from Bread Bunny,
Rip Conrad Rivaldi. What a tragic way to go. Hey, man. That's got to be one of the biggest, like, episode spreads. He hung in there.
Yeah, he did.
Way to go. I should clarify. He is not dead. Like, just in case.
Whoa, hold on. What are you talking? Conrad Rivaldi is literally dead, but some other guy who looks just like him will be here with a different name.
Funny if he fucked up with the dynamite and actually blew himself up, and like 2 years from now, Victoria's gonna be like, it's weird that I haven't gotten a letter from him yet.
No, I want him to show up again in like 40 episodes with just another mustache on top of his already having one.
Like, hello there, strangers.
God.
Thank you, Brad. Oh, this one's an episode late because I didn't stop crying from laughter last time. It was really funny. Thank you, Brad.
I'm very pleased with the reaction I got from you guys.
I think Rube summed it up best with I wish I could lose my memory so I could hear Rosa tell me that Conrad blew up a second time.
God.
But then from Tams.
Aw.
And Zelia, it's silly sometimes. Yeah,
look at this fun.
You got a bunch of papers and stuff.
You got a bunch of papers.
Oh.
Wow.
Then from Tams, also painting.
May's over here looking like a Christian monk.
I like to draw men.
It's not that I like to draw men, it's just that it works out better when I do. I don't get it either, and I'm really not looking forward to the thing I already signed on to, which is drawing a woman who I only got to see once.
It'll just be like, was it Michelangelo who, like...
Couldn't draw women?
Yeah, just, like, couldn't draw women.
Oh, no!
Jacques, like,
no, that was
Jacques
Da Vinci!
Oh, it was Da Vinci? Yeah, it was Da Vinci. And Jacques
his
like...
gay ass couldn't do it.
Yeah, and Jacques like, the fuck is this?
My best.
Listen, the closest example he had was me as reference, so like,
Oh, this is way worse. I can't do this.
Thank you, Tams.
Am I looking at Red Path gender bend art? Is that
yes!
Going on here?
Then from Lemieux.
He's really good at drawing men. Huh? New GF. Huh?
Huh?
You mean when I, Meow.
And also from Lemieux.
Don't worry, I'm new to this too.
Welcome to the club.
Rosa might be the most like shell-shocked person in this setting. Like she just keeps getting bombshell after bombshell casually thrown at her.
We're making up for lost time. We didn't get to tell her when all these things were serious.
Yeah. Aww.
Oh, that's Ziliberbo.
Oh,
Nash.
look at him.
He looks great. He looks like he would be voiced by Dan Castellaneta in a Don Bluth movie.
He looks like he would live in a junkyard and there would be a big moon behind him.
Amazing. Rube, are you here by chance? Just wanted to double check.
I don't think so. I think Rube burbed, and it's gonna be very sad. I'm sure Rube will love it though. Thank you very much. Then from Tams.
Aw, them.
That.
Aw, he's weird.
Aren't I Sugoi?
Yes, very quirky. I was supposed to say very quirky coon.
Thank you, Tams. Then from Kuriyuki. Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture. Red Path and...
Maze, what flavor is your parent? Is she cream or is she grape?
I'd go with cream. Yeah. Red Path and Maze have been having the same scene parallel to each other a lot.
So funny.
It's not my fault.
No, it's not. It's our fault. Thank you, Kuriyuki.
Thank you very much.
The rooms of the Burbo.
Man.
No.
just having a tough one.
Man. Thank you so much.
It's a rough go. Thank you so much.
The rooms of the Burbo.
Garen, do you have any idea what he's talking about? No idea.
Very good.
I don't hold your son's hand.
Thank you so much. Then from Tams, jump scare pie. Ah! Very good.
Very funny. I love that he's eating something else. Just shows something. Oh.
Let's see. Then from Skift.
My uterus cannot cramp. I have he/him in bio.
God, I wish that were me.
Thank you very much. Oh, lovely.
from Ziliberbo. Nash smonking weed.
Oh my god.
Very nice.
Oh my god. Thank you very much.
He's chuffing that dart. Another one.
Hell yeah.
This one's from the Bad Night. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So, then from Tams, sword emoji, heart emoji.
Yeah, little Gajinka version of if she was just a mom. Like, I can't stress that enough. That's definitely more of the energy of her, is she's just like a mom friend who's just like, look at this cool guy. He is great. Thank you so much.
Then from Ziliberbo.
I hope the South team is doing well.
Meanwhile.
That's definitely the energy of South. Everything is going bad. It's going south all the time.
Wow.
Wow. Crazy.
Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, Dia talking about sad shit. Oh, that's a cool bug on the ground. Guys, I gotta... Hang on. Guys, stop. I gotta get the bug. Guys!
Amazing.
That's it. That's why Jasper left, following a bot.
That's all it takes.
Let's see. Then from Lemieux.
Whoa.
Steamy.
Pretty girl.
Very pretty.
Very pretty.
That's a very cute swimsuit too. Thank you so much. Lovely.
Ziliberbo.
Can I kin you?
No! Well, no!
You shouldn't have had to think about it.
Fez is like the best and worst thing that could be a person dating Dia.
And then also from Ziliberbo. War and hatred.
I don't know who this bitch is.
I really like her blob
I may
face.
not know my flowers, but I know a
It's
bitch
when I see
one.
one. Thank you so much. Then from Lemieux, she's the boss.
She is. It was almost immediate that she was switched into the position of power.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Then from Tams. Take the sword dress shopping. Makeover.
I love that she's taller than Nash. Which is so funny.
She's a big sword. Thank you,
big
Tams.
sword.
And from Silverbow.
Nash, do you have money?
Uh-oh, girlies. Very good. then from Silverbow. Hashtag Team Nash Eater merch.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you very
Amazing.
much. And then from Silverbow.
Dude, that noise caught me off guard. And it was so funny.
Just eat the entire bread. Oh god, there's so much Nash. It sucks that Rube's not here. Then from Tams. By Octavia. Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And then from Silverbow.
I cast fuck your hangover.
Shadowbringers, that's all I'm gonna say.
See, then from Silverbow.
Oh my god, hi!
You done goofed.
You done goofed.
See, then from Skimped.
Party rockers in the house.
It's Party Rock is. Loud snogging.
Oh god, happy Pride Month, but that kissing really made me not want to say it. That's the worst sound effect you could give it. Thank you, Skip.
It's perfect.
Then from G.I. Joe.
I'm just a little hang
Oh.
Holy shit.
And also from G.I.
Just screaming.
No, you can't eat a cheese!
I can't, but he can.
Like, the off-screen Claude, very funny.
So funny.
Then, still from G.I. Joe.
Why is his chest so well
I don't know what you want me to tell you, frankly.
Very funny.
Dick clock.
And from Silver, Da Vinci, Dapini.
Dapini?
Dapini. It's
So
mine now.
funny.
I could sell it, but I won't.
You could make a lot of money if you sold it.
Say that from Lemieux.
Squaw! Doopsosaurus!
I heard Doopsie could turn into a dinosaur and went into a trance. That makes sense.
Just zoned out like, oh my god.
Thank you, Lemieux. And from Silverbow.
We need to have a conversation.
Mother.
That's how it feels.
Oh, you're in trouble.
It could be literally anything, and she would assume it was going to be this type of conversation.
So what do you think about these heels? I don't know. I feel like they're too
Oh,
shiny.
thank God.
I'm going to be wearing them to your funeral.
When I die many years from now of natural causes that have nothing to do with you, right?
Oh, I usually don't buy clothes that early.
Okay.
There is one more.
there's an
There's
extra.
one more from Lemieux. It's
He got
Dazzlebeer!
He got mentioned like twice. Silly little guy.
Oh.
I mean, he might pop back in. Like, there's a lot of magical swords to be sold. And
How did you
tridents.
get 6 of the identical magical sword?
Found
Let me
it.
tell you, Tathleveer, my man, let me tell you about enemy stat blocks.
And looking at a bunch of, like, the Veritas Legion weapons. I have many questions, but will ask none.
That's a good policy. You
Yep.
should keep that up.
Yep.
Well, thanks everybody for submitting all that. And Will,
Hey.
thank you for running this. This was a pleasure as always.
Hey, thank y'all for playing. I know we ran a little long, but I appreciate you sticking through to the end.
Yeah, thanks to my fellow players for being here and being present. You make this a wonderful experience as always. In chat, thank you all for supporting the show however you do it, be it by giving us money or giving us fan art or just being here at all. Your support, however you give it, means the absolute world to us. Thank you for being here this time, and thank you for being here next time. Say goodbye to chat, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.
Bye.